This episode of Limit Break Radio is made possible by our generous Patreon donors, including Taliesin Truestrike of Fairy, Draco Kirova of Cactuar, Nono Bia from Zodiark. Thank you so much for your support. If you want to support Limit Break Radio, visit patreon.com/limitbreakradio. And by Flanimals. Flanimals are cute fun for the whole family. Nurture these silly slime balls as they grow from a puny pudding into a full-size flan. Your kids will love feeding, walking, playing, and cleaning up after these adorable amorphs. Your Flanimal will grow into one of 5 different flavors: cinnamon, butterscotch, plum, custard, and the ultra-rare Flanimal Princess. Get yours today. Flanimals are live creatures and should not be around babies, children, teenagers, or adults. Side effects may include sneezing, coughing, vomiting, scratching, melting, dissolving, licking, kicking, picking, bleeding, biting, burning, suffocation, death, and in some extreme cases, cosmic elucidation. Use discretion or magic when interacting with Flanimals.
Live from Eorzea.
Limit Break. With your hosts, Unhero.
Now behold the horror you have wrought.
Kahlo.
I said don't take your clothes off.
Juxtaposition.
I don't get it.
Ascalia.
Holy shit, totally forgot about him.
And Nika.
Oh my god.
LimitBreakRadio.com.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Limit Break Radio, episode number 94. Thanks for joining us here at twitch.tv/limitbreakradio, limitbreakradio.com. If you want to check out a full archive of our show, Happy New Year! Thanks for joining us here on New Year's Day for our live episode number 94 here on twitch.tv/limitbreakradio. Let's kick it on over to our Eorzean studios. Guys, if you'd like to join us in our studios, you can do that at the Sargentana server. Make a character over here, and then come to the Goblet, 5th Ward, plot number 30. That's how you can find the Limit Break Radio studios. Our chat room is working again this week.
Hooray! Do we know why?
Yeah, actually, this is really funny because we used to use the Night Dev chat, the cat chat, right?
Oh, that was so funny.
And so they apparently updated their service so that it doesn't work with OBS Classic. And I still use OBS Classic because that's how we manage the cameras for Final Encountercast. And rather than set up everything for OBS Studio, I decided to find a different chat thing to use. That is in no small part to them being passive-aggressive jackasses on Twitter when I ask them about the compatibility issue. So, yeah, that's why we're no longer using CapChat. That's why we're using Twitch Alerts. Alerts.
Oh, the
Twitch Alerts alert system.
There you go.
Twitch
Yeah,
Alerts chat.
There you go.
Box.
Yeah.
Twitch chat.
Twitch chat. Something like that. I don't know.
Copyright.
Anyway, no, it's not even. That's not even Twitch Alerts anymore. It's Streamlabs.
It's
Yeah, Streamlabs. That's
yeah.
what it is. Yeah. So
These companies are going down faster than they can spring up.
They're not going down. They're going up. They're including
no.
you
Well, that's the thing that I had kind of had pointed out to the Night Dev folks on Twitter when they decided to get shitty with me. Is there's a lot of websites and companies that I've seen come and do what Night Dev has been doing for a while and do it better in a shorter period of time. So maybe they should think twice about being shitty with their customers.
I like to think that they are just the Twitch capture chat equivalent of us, and they're like, no, if you don't like it, go somewhere else. Fuck off.
Well, but here's the difference, though, is that we provide an entertainment product. They actually provide something that is
value?
An actual service.
Yeah, right, which took me 90 seconds to switch out. It was no big deal to switch off of it. So
Yay, modular technology.
Yeah, so it's it does nothing for them to be shitty. Haha, look at that guy that I flamed on Twitter. It does nothing for them. It does everything for us because we're an entertainment brand.
I can't believe they were super passive aggressive about it.
Oh my God,
that's
they were
funny as hell.
Super passive aggressive about it.
I'm gonna donate to him. That's funny as hell to me.
Anyway, welcome to the show. Happy New Year. Thank you guys for joining us. Of course, today we've got Juxtaposition, Ascalia Ryumasa, and Nika Kayani. And again, no support staff. How is it?
What is going on here?
How is it that the interns get the day off, but we don't?
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, that's what we were wondering, actually.
I feel like the interns should have been cutting up old clips from shows, and they should have been hosting for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, when was the last time I got a freaking day off?
Yeah. Last week is the last time.
I don't remember that.
That
doesn't ring a bell.
Last week.
Wait, you guys had the show last week?
Yeah, when it was Christmas. Remember that?
Yeah, it was Christmas.
Yeah, it was Christmas.
Yeah, we were here for that.
Why would you do that?
Because
you're crazy and absolutely balls nuts.
Balls nuts.
Balls nuts.
We're balls nuts.
We're balls nuts.
My balls have nuts on them.
That's why I wasn't here.
Nika's correct. We are balls nuts, but we were here last week because last week also happened to be.
Okay, that was a really, really good drop, and you just fucked it up.
Oh, your drops are muted, aren't they?
Yeah.
Well, you know what's funny?
No.
You know what's funny? With your Christmas gift that I gave you, the label maker, I actually labeled the board, so you could have checked beforehand, but you just decided not.
You would just mute it anyway during the opening.
No, I don't mute the drops during the opening.
No.
Wait, he can put drops
Ooh,
during the
you should
opening?
not have told him that.
Probably.
Now you have to mute them during the
I
opening.
will be from now on, but I haven't been.
But they were muted now.
But they're
Man, this 2017's off to a great start. Muted drops. It's awful.
I'm just gonna say, if you were disappointed by 2016,
buckle up.
Yeah, I don't think 2017's getting much better, guys.
It's been one day.
It hasn't even been a day yet.
It's already better. What are you talking about? There's no callow.
You know what? That's fair.
Wow.
Anyway, thanks for joining us here today. We are excited to have you along because we're going to be talking about the Japanese Fan Fest that went down last week. I know a lot of our normal listeners were not able to join us. Of course, Juxtaposition and Nika Kayanian were not able to join us, so we got to get their reactions to all the announcements that went down out there. But we also want to take your calls as well. Limit Break Radio on Skype, 810-515-8715 is the number to call. LimitBreakRadio.com/Discord if you want to call in via Discord. Kooky is not here. As we were saying, none of our support staff is here. So Juxta will be handling your calls if you want to call in. And we invite your calls. We want to hear from you. What did you think of the Red Mage announcements? What do you think of Return to Ivalice? What do you think of swimming? What do you think of all of this new stuff that's going to be coming with Stormblood? We've also got an interview here from Famitsu that goes through some questions that they were able to ask Yoshi-P after Japanese Fan Fest. So we'll get a little bit more insight as to what he's thinking and what we can expect with the European Fan Fest. That's all coming up here today. But get your calls in. Limit Break Radio on Skype, 810-515-8715. LimitBreakRadio.com/Discord. Real quick, before we get into the news, just wanted to give you guys an update. The postcards for November have gone out. We are...
Lots of people.
They're so cool.
Lots of people should have got them. We got...
We've been getting some feedback. Some people have been taking pictures of them and posting them up on Twitter. So we've been seeing that people have been getting them and been getting a nice response out of that.
Yeah. If you haven't gotten your card by, let's say, the end of next week, send Kahlo a message or me or someone to give someone a message because that's probably an issue with TouchNote, and we will have them send you a new card. So, assuming you've donated in the proper month.
Yeah,
so.
right. Yeah, exactly. So if you donated...
and make sure that your card went through, because sometimes cards don't go through and people don't understand why they're not technically Patreons. So,
you may want to look.
Check your card.
Yeah, you may want to look at that. We did have, I think last month, we had a lot of people who finally did figure that out. I don't know if Patreon sent out a message and was like, hey, your card's jacked up or what, but I mean, we saw a
huge influx of money going up, but not actually more patrons or dollar amounts increasing.
Right.
It's just people being like, oh, fixed card
Oh
information.
yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So thank you to those who did update their card information. If you think you may be one of those, head on over to patreon.com/limitbreakradio. Or if you're interested in now January's postcard, because it is now January, go ahead, head on over to patreon.com/limitbreakradio and sign up at the $20 value, and you will be locked in to January's card.
December's card?
Yeah, where's that?
It's in the works.
Oh no, we're already behind schedule on month 2. I need the guy who's responsible for this promotional program to be here right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's not.
Well, you're not. I know. So you're
call
the
him?
well, no, you're his roommate, so you're the next best thing.
I checked up on him a week ago.
Okay.
The 24th, if I'm not mistaken. He said that our artist, Luna, he gave her the deadline of the 1st, which is today, so she should be done with...
And just saying, the artist's name is Luna. Just saying, Luna. Luna.
Yeah, Luna.
Yeah, Luna. And the reason that I bring that up is because Final Fantasy nerds love when names overlap. So, just saying.
Well, it's Luna.
I know it's like half of the character's name, Luna, right?
She goes by Luna in the game.
I know.
so.
Yeah, she goes by Luna. How much Final
Did you?
Yeah, it's clearly someone's not playing Final Fantasy 15.
It's Yuna.
No.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I'm like, unless you're talking about the cat from Sailor Moon.
Wow, you are terrible.
Year of the cock. Event guy is wearing a samurai hat. Samurai confirmed.
No.
Don't even. That's not worth responding.
Don't
to.
even.
That's a troll. It's a troll, Daddy. Don't listen to him.
That's back. Oh, good. Happy New Year.
Oh boy.
Happy Year of the Cock.
I thought we could leave that behind in 2016.
Oh, I'll be right behind you, Daddy.
You can almost taste it, can't you? Isn't it weird? It's
gross.
It's palpable. It's like a film on your tongue.
I know that we're gonna get a lot of questions in the chat about the fan fictions that have been submitted.
Oh God.
But we've got like 4 of them. We may get one. We may get to one today.
Maybe. Okay.
If we have time.
If we have time. But if you want you gotta take it to the next level. If you want yours to be 100% guaranteed red. So I'm thinking you're gonna have to start writing your fan fiction in song parody form.
Iambic pentameter.
It has to be a song fic now.
Song fic.
No, I mean, like, honestly though, we are getting a lot. We are getting a lot of these, and the thing about it is that we don't want to do the bit
banned.
we don't want to do the bit every single episode. We don't even read emails every single episode. It's been like 5 or 6 episodes since we've read emails.
Do we take
generous?
Do we treat this kind of like limit breaking music, where every so often we revisit it and do like 4 or 5 in an episode?
Yeah, like maybe get through 2 of them in an episode or something.
However many we can before we throw up.
It's definitely it's gonna have to be a bit that we like, kind of like a fine wine. We've got to let it breathe a little bit, So we
gotta let it air out.
I'm just saying. I just wanted to address that because we have been getting a lot of fanfics. They are pretty funny, and we do want to read them. But the thing is that we don't want to burn them all out too quickly. So for those that come back each and every single week and are like, when are you gonna read fanfics? Like, we get it. Okay, we're gonna get to it, but we'd rather save that for one of these weeks where we're gonna have
nothing to talk
about. Content. Yeah,
it's coming. They're gonna happen.
Oh my God, they so are.
Sorry.
So
we all know that lull between the 0.55 and
yes, and it's gonna be. We all know that it's gonna be brutal. So,
and here's the problem too is. Every time we do one of these fanfics, the next round of them feels the need to step it up.
Okay, well it's good.
I mean, that's a good thing though. We want it to be better written, better content.
No, not that kind of step it up.
I don't think that's what he meant.
It's just getting kinkier.
It's
just getting
that's better content.
It's just getting weirder.
Totally.
Is it? I don't know that that's true. Anyway,
can I do it naked?
No, you can't. I've told you this multiple times.
Can I do it naked?
No, you can't.
Can I do it naked?
No, you can't.
Can I do it naked?
Stop it. See this, and you wonder why I start with your drops muted. Good God.
Can I do it naked?
Stop. Oh my God.
I like that drop.
Anyway,
when you play that one back to back, it starts sounding less like Danny DeVito and more like Fry from Futurama.
I don't know that I hear that at all. I don't hear that at all.
I think you're
high.
Yeah, you're.
Yep.
Maybe
you're mentally deficient.
I'm the high one, but you're high. Just saying. Anyway, so
we're all high now.
Are we?
It's high noon.
Somewhere.
Nerf this.
Why are you just quoting your drops now? Anyway,
I'm quoting Overwatch.
I know you have Overwatch drops.
I do have them.
Oh my God.
Well, I might have deleted some of them.
Anyway, so yeah, if you want to get in on the postcards from Eorzea, $20 pledge over at patreon.com/limitbreakradio. Again, we want to thank all of our patrons for all of their generosity. We are currently sitting at, last time I checked, we were at over $2,100. But
$2,134, I think.
Let me just go right there right now. Currently, with the amount of people that have pending charges, we're sitting at 1971.
19. Oh man.
Oh no!
So,
Guess we can't do FEC.
but this is the first. It's the first. It's the first of the month. A lot of
people
people have to approve their charges. Again, we're looking at 100.
A holiday too.
Yeah, it is.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, so a bit delayed too.
Yeah. So anyway, but we want to thank you for all of your generous support. Even like on the first of the month to get 1,900 in, that's great. I mean, that's
better than we usually have on the first of the month.
Yeah, for those that know how Patreon works, that's pretty fantastic. So thank you guys for all of your support, and make sure that you can check out all of the extra goodies that you can get by being a patron to Limit Break Radio, including access to the new demo of our show that we're going to be able to talk about in just 2 weeks here.
So that soon?
I know.
It's been forever.
I know. And the first demo is out now on Patreon. I'm going to be putting up the full length version of the first demo. That's going to be coming out here in the next week or so. And then we've got 2 other demos that were recorded in December to share with you guys. And we're super excited. We're excited to share them.
I'm coming!
I like how you made really intense eye contact while that drop is playing. It was.
I want you to know.
Yeah, I
the intention.
I understand that. Thank you. That was very well communicated with your eyeballs.
Does anyone smell pineapple?
Sexual.
It's kind of bleachy.
A little bit. Yeah.
A little bleachy smell. Anyway.
Toast. Burning.
Buttered. Anyway.
I'm socially awkward.
So let's check out what's going on in FF14 news.
This is a Limit Breaking News Update.
We did not take a look at FF14 news last week because, of course, we were talking only and exclusively about the Japanese Fan Fest. So this week we actually have a surprising amount of news to talk about, starting with the FF14 official census. So this is pretty interesting. Some of the numbers that are coming out of the official census.
I like these. These are usually so hard to understand and interpret.
Yeah, and they made it pretty easy. Yeah, they made it pretty easy. But if you're interested in all of these numbers and crunching all of the numbers, then you can. Oh, I just realized we don't have Kooky, so
yeah,
I'm gonna.
I got it.
I already got it. I got it. No,
there, I got it.
No. Got it.
I got it second.
If you're
I have more information in my line.
If you're interested in checking out a link to the Orzean census, you can do that in the chat as well as our website, limitbreakradio.com. I don't want to get too deep into that, but I mean, was there anything that anyone found particularly interesting? There's nothing that jumped out at me, so I just thought it was noteworthy to pass it along to you guys. But
Lalafell are tied for the lead in race in Japan. What?
Tied with what?
Tied with Hure.
That makes sense.
In America, it's Huron tied with Mikote, and in EU, it's just Mikote.
I would have thought Mikote would have been a lot more popular in Japan.
I mean, they're second. No, they're third in Japan.
Have you seen anime?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
And they're all a bunch of lolly pedobait stuff.
I don't know. I mean, but do Lalafells fill that requirement? I mean, I guess.
I don't think so.
They're a little rotund to be.
Okay, well, they may not fit the exact lolly mold, but that's the best thing they got.
Yeah, I think in that case you go straight cat girl, because that,
Go flat-chested cat girl, right?
That's what I would have thought,
Yeah.
but fuck me, I don't
Well,
know.
you can go with the flat-chested dragon lady too. I mean, they're both really.
Yeah, Al Ra, by the way, really lagging behind on most of these.
Well, it's not surprising. When you add a race, they're going to be...
And that whole horrible skin,
Well,
defect they have, it's really...
But they are...
eczema?
Yeah, it's off-putting.
Yeah.
They are ahead of both Elizin and Rogadin in every area, though. So,
but again, that is also surprising considering that they're a newly added race, because people would have had to make the active choice to switch off of that. I would have thought that most of the other races would have had a very steady lead on that, but instead, Rogadin, Nika, you've got to be bummed out by that.
I'm sure she's super butthurt about it. No. You know what? Nika is one of those people who's just like, I'm cool. None of you all get it. She's like that kind of person.
Oh, are you hipster Rogadin?
She's hipster Rogadin.
Do we have...
She's in the bathroom.
Did we lose Nika?
Hold on.
What happened?
She's still on the line. Oh, she's
God.
using bathroom BRB.
Oh,
Thanks for saying that to the Skype message that I don't have active, Nika.
She messaged in the host chat too.
You guys take a fucking week off, and I swear to God,
Don't blame me.
I blame all of you.
It's not like I just randomly go to the bathroom and I tell.
Anyway, all right.
I'm back, guys. What I missed?
Nothing. We're still talking about the census for some reason.
I like the rarest minion, the Shallow Eye. Does anyone know what that is?
I don't have half of a fucking clue.
What about a penguin prince?
I don't.
Where the hell did these come from?
No, I don't have half an idea.
Is.
No, I don't know.
Do you know what it is, Daddy?
Stop. Why?
Daddy, tell me.
Why would I know? I don't know anything about minions.
Yell at me harder. I mean,
please stop. Please.
Please.
I've never heard of any of these mounts either, except for the Parade Chocobo. I know that one.
Wait, where's the mount? Is that up higher?
Right above rarest minions.
Astrope? Is that
What's the Astrope?
the Astrope?
The Astrope.
The Astrope?
The Astrope. Did Square Enix add a mount after us?
Maybe.
The Astrope.
Oh,
do I have to emphasize it more to get a laugh?
Oh,
I get it.
Ass.
Apparently, some of these minions no one's ever heard of come from Verminion. That's why they're the rarest in the game.
What?
No one does it. Nika, how's the bathroom?
What? I told you in 2 places I was using the bathroom, so.
I know, and they still missed it. I tried to cover for you.
Thank you.
Okay, well, I didn't get the message in the Facebook chat. So.
Okay.
And you can't tell me it in the Skype message because that's not even on the right
we don't
computer.
have
I did it on
that's
both.
an inactive
So that
computer.
somebody would see it.
Nobody saw it.
Or maybe just go to the bathroom before the show.
I ate right before the show, and then it processes through the beginning of the show, and then I had to go.
Well, these shows always come back to Nika's bowels. It always comes back to that.
It is weird how that's a reoccurring theme here on Limit Break
Is
Radio.
it?
I don't know.
When was the last time we talked about Nika's bowels?
On the episode with just you, me, and her, when she had explosive diarrhea.
Oh, that's right. We did talk about But
Wow.
that was because of Fan Fest and
We did like 20 minutes on that.
What?
I'm really glad I didn't listen to
block
the
that out of my
entirety
mind?
of that episode.
Fan Fest, so don't go to conventions sick. Just don't do it, guys.
Anyway, so yeah, if you want to check out the Orzean census, we provided a link already. So let's move right along here. We got a dungeon preview for patch 3.5. We got the first look at Baelsar's Wall, marking the border between the Black Shroud and Girbanya. The legacy of Gaius Van Baelsar is a towering monument to imperial tyranny. And now,
Thank you, Trump.
And now smoke rises from its iron
Crenellations.
Crenellations?
Crenellations?
Where the fuck does
That's
Koji
not-
find these words?
That's not a real word.
That's no, I guarantee you that is a very real word because
it's the battlement of a castle or other building.
Jesus. Like I was supposed to know that.
If only we had some kind
know
of
everything.
I gotta say though, the little preview picture that they have associated with the dungeon preview is really interesting. That structure that looks like it's held up by by chains. That looks really, really interesting. I'm kind of
chains.
Yeah,
I don't see chains.
In the very top image.
Oh, that image.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That thing. It's held. It looks like it's held up by chains or supported by chains or kept from falling down by chains.
It looks like a chunk of Dalamud almost.
It kind of does, but at the same time, it doesn't.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm very.
Oh, I know that.
Very intrigued.
Whenever the Bahamutian army takes control of a city, they chain that city to their floating citadel.
What the fuck are you talking about?
The Bahamutian army.
What are you talking about?
It's World of Final Fantasy.
Oh God!
What the?
It's even worse when the references are rooted in something. If it was nonsense, I think I'd be able to write that off a little bit easier. We also got a preview of Sohm All Hard. The fall of Nidhogg brought an end to not only the Dragon Song War, but also the hierarchy of power that reigned upon Sohm all. Bereft of its dreaded leader, the horde scattered to the four winds, leaving the dragon's sacred grounds untended and unguarded.
I still want to know why we care.
Thrall, come back.
I actually kind of like this green looking dude here.
Yeah,
that's an Ochu.
No, it's not.
That's an Ochu.
A Mega Ochu.
Yeah, so they already have Ochus in this game.
Yeah, I was gonna say
it's from Final Fantasy XIII.
That doesn't make it better.
Is it really?
He comes attached or with like 5 or 6 little micro chews or pico chews or something.
Pikachu?
Pico chos.
What?
He comes with 4 channels or Cincos.
I can't tell when you're making shit up anymore.
It says Juxta is always right. It's rooted in World of Final Fantasy, in Final Fantasy 13. That world.
God.
It's an equally shitty world, to be fair.
No.
We also got a main scenario preview. Patch 3.5 Far Edge of Fate is scheduled to release this coming January. What new adventures?
Do we have a date or not?
Yeah, it's the 14th, right? It's second Tuesday.
Really?
They had announced it on the live letter or at FanFest. I'd have to look at our last outline to get the actual date. Of course, you'd have to ask.
Okay, well, I'm gonna wait here and let you.
The threat of the war. The threat of the warriors of darkness is no more. Unexpected reunions salve the ache of the bittersweet farewells, and with their ranks further bolstered by the official induction of Alize and Kryl, once more do the scions of the Seventh Dawn set their feet upon fate's path and their gaze upon distant horizons. So
I don't know. I feel like the scions of the Seventh Dawn are getting kind of full. We should probably kill some people off.
Yeah, time to thin the ranks a little bit. You know what I mean?
You mean fake it and then the next expansion find out they're all alive?
Do we have any Rogan we can kill off?
Are there any in the scions?
Don't touch my Merwib. Don't touch her.
She's not in the scions.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Hori Boulder.
She's not safe.
January 17th. January 17th for part 1 of patch 3.5. So there's the official release date for that. So yeah, not much of a main scenario preview. Although I don't know who's that Makote chick in the second one. Do we know? Is that someone that we recognize?
No, but I hope we get her hair.
I mean, yeah, that's actually the thing that sort of jumped out at me is that her hairstyle is a lot different.
I wore that as an aura.
Did you?
I'm pretty sure I did.
Okay. All right. Well, let's see. What else we got here? We have some winners that have been announced in the Orzean Home Makeover competition. I'm going to work on getting these on screen. But yeah, this was, I always thought that this was kind of a cool idea for a contest. And Square Enix definitely, I think, did a good job at cultivating some entries. And boy, did people decorate their asses off for some of these houses.
So how come our house didn't win?
Yeah, why
did
you enter our house?
Yeah, I made them central focus of our stage D, and I don't know why, but they actually gave me like a 3-day ban for some reason.
Oh,
I don't know why.
Good, I'm glad.
What?
Anyway, we start with an alcove. We've also got this sort of like snow globe centerpiece thing. That's pretty cool.
That's really cool.
That's very creative. That's very clever, I gotta say. So that we've also got over here.
That snow globe isn't just a furnishing.
No, it's
No, they made that.
That's way. See, I first watched it. I'm like, I could have put a furnishing down in the middle of a room.
No, yeah.
Oh, that's way better then. Never mind.
Yeah, here we've got a Christmas scene. This got second place. I think this is pretty well done.
Oh, there's
here.
like a sleigh or something.
What?
The third photo, isn't that with like the chains? Doesn't that look like a sleigh? And they have like a steering. I don't know. It looks like a sleigh to me. There's like a steering on the front, and there's like the tail that looks like part of the sleigh.
Are you talking about the same pictures that we're looking at?
The Christmas one, yeah.
Okay.
Nika, do you smell toast?
I don't know.
Is it
I
burning?
know. It looks like the beads are like the reins. I don't know. Maybe I'm looking at it wrong, but it looks like a sleigh to me.
I have no idea.
I don't see anything that could even be misconstrued as a sleigh.
Yep, no idea.
The third photo in the post.
Even the second, the third place winner is very Christmas themed. I still don't know what the hell you're talking about. Anyway, so there you go. Those are the Horizon home makeover winners. Congratulations!
Like so much Christmas theme on them. Like I get that it's winter, but like was the idea of the event to be a Christmas themed home decoration contest?
I don't think so. It just was like extreme home makeover contest. I don't think it was supposed to be.
Yeah,
beats me. Heaven's Turn has started. Started Saturday, December 31st, and will conclude Monday, January 16th. You can start that by going over to Limsa Lominsa, and obviously,
that's a nice cock he's got on his head.
Dumb people have been freaking out about the Samurai Kabutos, and I don't know if you've just never done a Heaven's Turn event before.
There's always Samurai Kabutos. Every year.
So, Nika, why are you freaking out about these?
I have not said a thing about these, actually.
Nika, we know you're part of the dumb people.
What?
That like samurai.
Not this year, no. That's my New Year's resolution is to not be part of the dumb people anymore.
That's a good resolution. Hard to stick to, but a good one.
But
I can do
wait, hang on. No. Hang on. No. Just reserve. Wait. Reserve judgment until we talk about the Spider-Man T-shirt. Okay. Then we'll see how well her New Year's resolution holds up.
Okay, but Nika.
No. Let her dig her own grave. Let her dig her own grave.
I just want to make mention that she confirms that she was part of the dumb people before. Like, that was a thing, but now she's going to try to not be a dumb person. Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's not generally something you want to admit to.
It shows a level of self-awareness that few can own.
Thank you. You got my
You know
back.
who owns that? Dumb people.
Starting with speaking of dumb people, starting with patch 3.5, summoners will be able to gain the ability to change their Eggy's appearance. Players will be able to change the appearance of their Eggy by using a text command, which can be learned upon completing the quest an Eggy by any other name. After inputting the text command, your Eggy will assume the appearance of your chosen carbuncle the next time it is summoned. In order to change your Eggy's appearance once more, you will need to withdraw your Eggy, enter another text command, and then resummon it. The appearances you assign each of your 3 Eggy will be saved when you log out. So you have the option of the Emerald, Topaz, or Ruby carbuncles.
Oh my gosh, when do I get the Obsidian carbuncle? Square Enix hates summoners.
Clearly.
This is, I mean, you got it. You got what you asked for. I don't know why you wanted this so damn much, but is this really what summoners want? I feel like this is not what summoners want.
I mean, summoners want new Eggies, but they're not going to do that, so instead we get Eggy Glamours.
Yeah, no, summoners wanted to be able to have like an actual like Titan, Shiva, Ramu. Like that's what they actually want.
So,
but they're never going to get that.
So the 4 people that actually give a shit about this, congratulations.
I mean, everyone cares because it's the best we're going to get, but it's not ideal.
It's not good enough. It's not enough.
Can we just delete summoners from the game?
I'd be all right with that.
No.
Yeah.
They're actually
just
very good DPS and endgame. Please don't delete them.
Just
delete them.
Yeah. Just have.
Nobody would really care.
Yeah.
You
just
can
have Scholar.
You can switch
exactly.
Out, yeah, you can switch out to another job and you're good.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Party Finder update is going to be happening with the release of patch 3.5. The Party Finder will be expanded to allow players to search for parties across all worlds on the same data center.
Yay.
An option to form private parties will also be available for those looking to play with friends or on the same world or a different one. So players will now be able to recruit characters from any of these worlds and form cross-world parties. Players will be able to use party chat and register for duties in cross-world parties as they normally would. The following features can be used while participating in cross-world parties or cross-world party finder. Party chat, registering for duty finder, registering for raid finder, and ready check. The following features cannot be used while participating in a cross-world party: forming alliances, registering for custom matches, the sort party list function. That seems really odd and arbitrary.
Odd thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And actions and functions such as protect and teleport offer, which affect any nearby party members.
Makes sense.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, well, hold on. Does this mean you can't teleport while you're
That
in
means
a
you
cross?
can't
No, I
teleport
just-
your party members because they're not on your server.
Yeah, I think you can teleport. It just won't offer it to anyone else.
Right, they won't get like the such and such just teleported to Limsa. Do you want to go?
And I'm going to go. I'm going to actually say that even if you do have two people from the same server that are near each other, it's probably that function is probably turned off just for simplicity.
I really wanted to make it so if you have a cross-realm party, you just can't teleport ever. Please make that
Just
happen.
because reasons?
And because trolling.
Oh, okay.
Those who wish to form a private party will be able to set a 4-character password when sending out a party invite. This feature can also be used with cross-world parties to invite friends residing on a different world. So there you go. Party Finder updates due for 3.5. You can look forward to those.
It's pretty exciting.
On January 17th, just 17 days from now. So yeah, that's going to be the bulk of FF14 news that we have currently. And we want to take your calls. We want to talk about the Japanese Fan Fest, everything that happened out at the 2016 Japan Fan Fest. And we know that last week would have been, kind of difficult for all of our normal audience to tune in with it being Christmas Day. And maybe not everyone had the ability or the availability to call in last week. So get your calls ready. Limit Break Radio on Skype, 810-515-8715, limitbreakradio.com/Discord. We're ready to talk about Red Mage. We're ready to talk about the return to Ivalice. We're ready to talk about Omega. Let's talk about it all. Limit Break Radio on Skype, 810-515-8715. Obviously, I feel like we need to start with Juxtaposition.
What?
Our resident Red Mage. And the big question that's on everyone's mind, of course, we know you're excited for it, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
The big question on everyone's mind is, does...
9.5 inches.
That's an oddly specific measurement and weirdly close to what Kahlo claims. Anyway, let's...
They're twins.
9.45.
Does this mean the return of Lalafell Red Mage Juxta? Does Juxta Classic return because Red Mage is coming back? That's what everyone wanted to know.
That doesn't make any sense.
No, because you were Tara Red Mage, that was your thing.
That was two different people. Taru Juxta is completely different from Mikote Juxta, who is completely different from Aura Juxta.
Okay, you can't claim Mikote Juxta and Aura Juxta are different when he's lived the same life and completed the same story.
Yeah, and you show up here with the same fucking attitude. Like, if when you were in Aura, you actually did fucking work, then that would be different.
I also think you have to now stop bashing role players. You're no longer allowed. He can. You can't.
No. Okay, well...
No, that's fair.
Okay, so Taru Juxta, he hung up his mantle. He's no longer... Like, he's retired. You know that Lalafell, who's out in Costa del Sol, just getting fanned on? What? Fanned on by the Mikotes? That's Juxta over in Vanadil in Godland. Because he's a god.
Okay.
He's two gods,
Right.
I'm sorry.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was a really long way to go to answer that question.
Oh, but yeah, no, because I mean, I'm a Mikote / Aura.
A Mikote / Aura.
Yeah, I'm a OC. I'm a actually.
It's gonna happen.
I'm a
this
50/50.
is his really stupid way of saying, yeah, this is totally gonna happen, and you called it before I was able to do it cleverly on the show.
What?
That's what that is.
No.
I can be your resident juxta translator because I talk stupid, so I can interpret stupid for you. That's what that means.
But isn't your job to talk?
Yeah, I know a lot of different languages. Stupid is one of them.
So we are going to see Lalafell Juxta.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's happening. That's definitely happening. See, he's going to deny it until 1 week where we come on the show, and then he's going to be like, look, it's old school.
Throwback Juxta.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
No.
yeah, I see it. See it. It's you can.
I won't
you
be
can
able
see it
to
in his
see my
head.
awesome gear if I'm a small, tiny Lalafell. That's just dumb.
You know what? That's actually true because glamour in this game is different than what you could get in 11.
That is true.
Gear was pointless in 11 aesthetically.
All right, so resident Red Mage.
Yeah.
So
the only resident Red Mage.
That's
Thank you.
interesting. Actually, we're going to be.
Can you mute him?
We're going to be buddies shortly here.
No.
As we will
absolutely
both
not.
be maining
wait a
Red
minute.
Mage.
Oh, that's right. So so Dick Ninjas is going to be going away, and it'll be replaced by
the cock Red Mages.
No.
some sort of amorphous genital Red Mage. Sorry, I mean.
I don't want to be lumped up in that.
I'm trying to be inclusive. I'm trying to be inclusive. God damn it! Don't. What the fuck? I can't assume. I can't assume someone's gender, and then I don't assume someone's gender. Now I'm being offensive. God damn it! I don't understand this shit.
Well, because amorphous genitals. that's a different implication.
You listen to the words in my heart.
I think he's speaking stupid right now.
I think so. That must be what that is.
Okay, but no.
To be fair, though, Juxta, I did main Red Mage in 11. I just
You're not. No,
Malky's just it. Juxta, we can be the Red Roosters.
But I'm not going to be maining Red Mage because it's not a tank.
You can't play Red Mage at all, Nika.
That's not. No, I'm totally going to be playing it.
No.
Okay, I want your opinion. Okay, I think where Nero was. Okay, I don't know where he was going with that. But
Nowhere.
I want to know. My question to you is that since you've been so excited for Red Mage, now that we've seen the preview, is it all that you would hope that it would be?
Ooh.
Like, does it look like the Red Mage you were hoping for? Does it look different? What do you think? Are you excited, not excited?
It looks completely different from what I expecting. I was full on prepared for Red Mage healer. Oh.
Sometimes you have to go back to your roots, Juxta Doismug.
Go back to your roots, I mean Lalafell?
Doisbach? I can't be a Lalafell. That's just awkward and gross.
But if you don't, we're both going to be Mikote Red Mages.
Okay, but you'll be a cat girl and I'll be a male cat girl.
So then you're the pussy Red Mages. That's obvious.
No.
The pussy mages.
What the fuck? No. You
You're
cannot
both
be a Red Mage.
That's
You
my
are
new
a
main.
Dragoon.
No, I'm leaving Dragoon.
You can't. You cannot.
So after all this time, you're encouraging me to be a Dragoon?
Yes.
Yeah?
The shittiest person has to be the shittiest job.
Fair enough.
Yeah, fair enough.
No, I'm switching to Red Mage. It's going to be great.
We gave you a fucking postcard with you back jumping as Dragoon.
Right, now next year I can get a Red Mage one.
Yeah, he's back jumping off the platform to go change to another
Red
job.
Mage, yeah.
All right, no, seriously.
I tell you what.
Juxta
No,
back to-
Juxta. No, I tell you what. I this is fine. If Square Enix adds a Wyvern pet, I will stay Dragoon.
That ain't happening. Good luck.
Yeah, I know. I'm aware.
So Juxta, seriously, what did
Okay, well, hold on. No, I gotta address that. No, if you jump ship to Red Mage and they add a Dragoon, I am personally logging onto your character and deleting your character, so you can't be a Dragoon because you have forsaken. You have forsaken the Wyvern.
You'd be calling me a Fairweather Dragoon.
Yeah.
Oh.
You can never be a Dragoon ever again.
I don't know. What do you think? If I switch to Red Mage and they add Wyvern, am I allowed to go back?
No,
of course not.
No, that's a one-way.
So.
That's a one-way street. Shut up, Nika.
You can't say it's a one-way street when that's all he's been hoping for his entire life is a Wyvern pet.
my entire life. When I turned 13, I was like, wyvern pet, come on.
I mean, you can't deny that. That's all you want in your life. And so if they are forsaking you by not adding a wyvern and you switch to Red Mage, that's on them.
Then he's got to see it through tough times then. He's got to stick with it.
It would be the biggest kick in the dick ever if I switched to Red Mage and they add a wyvern pet.
That would be so funny.
Oh, I would lose my mind.
I would laugh so hard. Okay, no, seriously. What, Juxta, your reaction to Red Mage, the design of it, and also it being a DPS.
It's cool.
It's cool. That's it. That's it.
I like it.
Okay.
So
I want to know what you are thinking, because I mean, obviously, Red Mage gets a floaty thing like Astral Legend that they then attach to their sword. And
Yeah. How you seeing this shit working?
All right. So, love the sword, love the stance, love the idle animation.
What about the hat?
It's okay. It's good for like a base class.
The hat's great. Are you kidding me? The hat looks amazing.
Okay, I come from Final Fantasy XI where the hats were epic tier. This one is like they're just starting out with the hat. Okay.
Duelist Chapeau is pretty sweet.
Yeah, like they have to work up to the amazing pimp hats. This is like the base. You can't just go from a job or a class into a job. You have to be a class and then job. So you have to get your hat club job crystal before you can be epic pimp hat. Anyway, so I'm really happy that I was wrong when I said Red Mage was going to be a healer, and I'm very, very happy about that because I would rather be a DPS.
There's a rare admission from Juxta. He was wrong.
Yeah, it happens.
Happy to be wrong, but
very rarely. Even when I'm wrong, I'm still right because now I'm glad I get to still be a DPS. But if Red Mage, like, with their whole doing damage from the magic and then swooping in and sword play and stuff, it really feels like it's going to be a lot of movement oriented. And if they're more movement savvy than a ninja is, that would make me cream my pants.
That's what's coming.
That's what you want out of it.
I do.
Really?
I expect none of that. That was completely left field. But that is the best thing ever.
From what we've seen of Red Mage, I get the feeling it's going to be very positional heavy, lots of movement.
Yeah, I definitely do. Some of these when we'll get to this Famitsu article here in just a minute. But there's some indications here that the physical aspect of the job won't be exactly as heavy as people are imagining, that it's going to be a little bit more emphasized in its range aspects. But if you have certain positionals that can only be hit at close range, I mean you're gonna have to figure out how to move in and out to be able to use some of those abilities at their maximized potential.
I don't think we're going to see positionals as we see melee, like a monk or a ninja positionals. But obviously, you're going to have to get into melee range, and then you're also going to be a caster. So the way this game works is casters have to be at range for certain mechanics to go off properly.
Sure.
So they're going to assume they're going to be at range most of the time. And then I imagine the melee stuff is going to be a cooldown kind of thing.
But Escalia, we have a wyvern pet wind-up dragnet. Also, Juxta was wrong. This won't do. Hashtag Mutt Juxta.
Mutt Juxta.
Mutt Juxta.
Mutt Juxta.
Okay, I'm wrong, kind of.
No. Hang on.
Because I still win.
Hang on. No, that donation said specifically Mutt Juxta. I can't mute you because it didn't tell me to mute you.
Right.
However, your next point has to be said like Scooby-Doo.
Where was my next point?
You're asking me. Oh, good. Well, I was asking you about Red Mage, the way that it functioned. Also, do you think that Red Mage is going to end up using a combo of white and black magic as it already exists between the two jobs? Or are they going to be getting assigned a whole new set of spells?
Well, I think that red magic is going to be very, very different from black and white magic. If we get any white magic at all, it'll be in the form of enhancing our buffs or maybe a cooldown curing spell. It's not going to have very many white magic aspects.
When did Scooby-Doo become a horse? It was that was like half Scooby-Doo, half Mr. Ed. What happened there? You started off very strong.
The famous Mr. Ed.
You started off really strong, by the way. Just by the the proper Scooby-Doo impression is to just replace the beginning of every word with R. Good, nice job.
I mean,
that's the one that everyone knows.
Here's the problem: is that Scooby only ever says like 4 words in a sentence. You just had to do like a paragraph.
He chose to do a paragraph. I didn't tell him to do it. I just said your next thought, your next point. He could have made that point very concise and then moved on to a second point and dropped the impression. That would have also been valid. But no, you went for the excruciatingly awkward path. But okay. You don't have to continue. You can stop now.
Okay.
He sounds like he's talking to a puppy he just bought.
He sounds even more like a Muppet than normal.
I don't know. I like it. I honestly think that because Red Mage
asked
okay,
you.
That was a terrible Scooby-Doo. Please mute him.
That still wasn't mute Juxta.
Yeah, it was just mute him. So
take your pick.
You got a 1 in 3 shot.
No, it's mute him.
Yeah, I know. Now
now
it's a 50. Oh, damn it! You're right.
All right.
Good. Then I get to say my point. I think that since Red Mage's staples have always been refresh and haste and that kind of thing is buffing, and that can be kind of like red magic, I assume that there'll be something like Bard or Astrologian, and where they actually have a different role like DPS, but they also have some buffs on the side. They can, in that way, they can fill in a caster role, or they could fill in like the machinist role if you can't get it, or
so what?
Blah blah blah.
What buffs, debuffs do you see Red Mage having? Like, what is not in the game right now that could be incredibly useful?
I honestly don't think they would add something totally brand new, because I think they would give refresh, which is like Astrologian's MP regen already, and then I think they would maybe give a skill speed, spell speed, which is currently also filled by fairies.
Well, they did say Red Mage will have its own spells.
That's right. But
but they'll call it refresh and they'll call it haste, but really it'll be skill speed, spell speed.
Yeah. Well, see, I'm also.
I can see Dia as like a as a dot, of course.
Do you think they're? I mean, do you see them being single target spells, or do you see them being AOE party effects?
Single target.
I would like to see a hybrid. I would like to see a combo of both.
I mean, that's kind of how Astrologian works, is that it's a single target spell unless you have a certain one like saved in your card that makes it AoE, and when you makes it AoE, it makes it less potent.
Yeah, so let's
they
say
could keep doing something like that.
Yeah, right. Like, so let's say you execute some part of your rotation that activates an ability that allows your next spell to be AoE castable.
What if your melee physical stuff is what buffs up your spells to do stuff like that?
Dude, that'd be
sweet.
That would be kind of sweet.
So you
Juxta,
can choose to stay at range, but your spells will be weaker because of it.
Right. Juxta, is that something?
No.
Why not? What would be wrong with that?
Because they said that you're primarily going to be like at range as Red Mage, and then you're only going to go in like very rarely, I guess, as a melee to do like a couple quick attacks, then jump back out.
Right. So if that's how you're going to activate your cooldown to be able to fire your next spell as AoE, I mean, that's sort of like a fair, in my mind, that's sort of like a fair trade-off. To you have to execute some correct form of, some patterns or whatever, set yourself into the right mode to be able to make your next spell AoE castable instead of a single target. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That way you're not just like off the rip, regen, refresh, haste, like that. That would make, I mean, honestly, I would think
that feel familiar.
Well, yeah, that's part of it. But I also think that would make a Red Mage like sort of too critical.
So Red Mage is the bisexual of the FF14 classes? #Red Pussies.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
No.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay, no. You can't God damn it! I can't believe I'm fucking gonna like.
You go just say you go both ways and be done with it.
Okay, no, shut up. Okay, if this is gonna happen, if this stupid asshole is gonna be a Red Mage along with me, then it has to happen naturally. Like when Slayaka gave us the Dick Ninja title, that happened naturally, okay? You can't be like, oh, it's gonna be pussy Red Mages with cock red roosters or something. Like you can't plan this shit out. It has to happen au natural. That is,
I don't know.
That is French.
I liked my mutilated genitals idea. That I think
you just like mutilated
you went from
genitals
amorphous genitals to genitals to mutilated.
Yeah,
that's very different.
Whatever, same difference.
It's the same thing. Trust me, I know.
Yeah,
Daddy.
All right, let's go to our phone lines. We've got a phone caller. Someone calling in on our landline, 810-515-8715. If you want to call the show, Limit Break Radio on Skype. You can send a message. Juxta will help you get on the air. Get
off on the air.
As well as limitbreakradio.com/Discord. We're going to go to our phone lines. What's up, caller? How's it going? Thanks for calling Limit Break Radio.
Hey, what's up, dude? Dank Vader.
Whoa, wow. Hey, who's this?
Dank Vader.
Hey, what's up? What's up? What? No. I just I had you turned up a little bit too loud. What's up, Dank Vader? How's it going, man? Happy New Year.
Chilling, bro. Happy New Year. How was your guys' party last night?
I partied super hard by going to bed at 9:30.
Wow.
I know. I'm an old man.
Dude, I feel you on that. Me and my wife played some Heroes of the Storm, and then we went to bed at like 12:01.
Dude, seriously, working Monday through Friday at 5:30 a.m., it has a way of sort of setting your internal clock. So, yeah, I was tapped out by 9:30.
I was working up until 11 o'clock.
There's nothing wrong with that.
So what's up?
We're not 21 anymore.
Yeah, no.
Have you guys already discussed what you guys think the new job is going to be?
We're working our way there. We haven't quite gotten to the T-shirt reveal yet. We're still kind of working our way through Red Mage theories at the moment. So we'll start there with you, Dank. How do you see Red Mage operating? What would you like to see out of Red Mage ideally?
I'm actually hoping it's what Juxta said is very ninja-like because, I mean, the way they go with the trailer they released, it would be nice to have something different. Not really part of the same formula, kind of like Ninja was with how they introduced Ninja.
Totally, yeah, absolutely.
Like a new concept, maybe they could do something like that, where it's kind of like a mudra to start your combo and then go into the melee stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think like even having like different stance forms that would activate different spells. That's a route that you could go instead of making an action triggerable at the end of a rotation chain.
I just want like something like a charge I can use like every 6 seconds, like the shoulder tackle from Monk, and then like a Shikuki Ichi from Ninja like every 10 seconds. I just want to be the most mobile thing on the planet.
So, but I mean, like.
Yeah, that'd be dope to have like a monk speed mage.
Like, wouldn't that end up feeling a lot like Noctis from 15 though? Like, wouldn't you end up feeling like you're just bouncing around the majority of the time?
Wouldn't that be great?
That's the first thing I saw when I said that. I'm like, oh, they're using the stupid little warp strike.
Yeah, like a lot of people thought the same thing when they heard about Red Mage's mobility. They're like, oh, they're trying to work in a Noctis like thing so that people who just played 15 would have something that they could recognize.
Kind of cool though.
What I mean, do you think
Noctis is pretty cool? So don't knock on it.
When even Nika has to just give an uncomfortable laugh. It wasn't good.
Well, no, I agree with you. I'm just waking up, so I'm still not very competent.
Bad puns aside, God damn it!
Can you put it in front?
I can't. You totally derailed me.
Well, let's hope it doesn't happen again. Knock on wood.
I mean, honestly, do you really think that it's meant to invoke Noctis at all, or do you think that that's just going to be a side effect of the job overall?
I mean, they didn't really have a promo a crossover with Final Fantasy XIV and 15, so maybe that was like their little nod to it. But I don't really think it has anything to do with it.
Or Noctis is a red mage and he's our class trainer.
Oh no!
Well, he is pretty hybrid-y.
I kind of I feel like they're trying to paint Red Mage as more of just like the fencer class in this one.
Yeah,
and that's why the extra movement is such a big part of it.
Right. Okay. So what do you make of the crystal medium that they use? I mean, because that sort of brings it is a little reminiscent of Astrologian, but it brings a whole new element to Red Mage that no other Red Mage has ever seen any kind of implement like that, any kind of weapon, any kind of magic, no tool like that. It's always been, as far as I've been aware, You are a mage that uses, what defines a red mage is that you use both white and black magic and use primarily either a sword or a staff. They figured out the sword staff problem, which, by the way, the way that the crystal medium kind of pops on top of the sword to become the staff, very creative, very clever idea. But I'm curious what you, Juxta, specifically think of the crystal medium as a sort of like a job, a unique factor to this new version of Red Mage.
I think it's probably just more of an animation thing, because when you have one hand, just like with your fencing hand, like you have your sword, right? That's obviously being used to do stuff and animate and stuff, right?
Right.
But the other hand, your offhand, just kind of it sits there, so it's kind of awkward for animators to animate, because it's like, what do you do with this other hand?
You want to know what I think? I think it was just to negate the necessity of a shield or an offhand weapon at all.
Oh no, they weren't going to add like an offhand like an item to get. They were.
Well, do you think you're going to be able to change the crystal mediums like an item? Like you don't think so?
No.
That's not going to be their offhand weapon?
Well, that makes sense.
Is the sword?
I think that would be cool. I mean, like, that might even be a cool aspect, that whatever, that different crystal mediums might have, different spells that are attached to them or something. I don't know. You could get, Square Enix has the ability to get really creative right here.
That's what I was thinking. Like, will the sword and crystal medium be one item, or will it be like Paladin sword and shield where they're separated?
No, it's going to be definitely one item.
It'll be one item, like the ninja swords.
Yeah, exactly. Like the ninja stuff. That's just one item. You have two of them. I think if they could go back, they would have the Paladin sword and shield be one item too, if they could go back and fix it.
Really?
I don't think so.
What other class uses a shield? Ever?
Obviously none.
Yeah, none. Well,
back in the very beginning, mages had one hand.
Mages can use shields,
but they killed that like right after Leviathan.
Very early. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I could see why that would make sense, and it would actually streamline the armory a little bit. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I'm curious to see, because do you think that it's going to be an entirely different version of swords then that we're going to be getting, like a new category for like cutlasses or something?
Oh, like a different... Yeah, every weapon has to be used by just one job.
Right.
It's going to be a rapier.
A rapier.
Yeah. Rapier? Okay.
Why are you guys all rapers? What the fuck are you talking about?
Dank Vader. Yeah, I called it a cutlass. Dank Vader, thank you so much for the call. Happy New Year. You got any shout-outs before we let you go?
Happy New Year, brother, and no shout-outs. It's just all I can tell Nika that sorry that you're not going to get them right.
All right, Dank Vader, thank you so much.
Mute Juxta.
And right there, Taser Smurf getting a donation as Dank Vader was getting their shout-outs out. The medium goes back to when duelist used to fight during the night and held a lantern in their offhand. # mute Juxta. What? It does? I don't think that's... What?
I'm not sure that's historically accurate. But I guess I don't really know.
Is that a joke that I'm not getting?
I don't know.
I don't get it.
I'm not sure.
I'm not even going to mute Juxta for that swing and a miss, Taser Smurf, by the way, just so you know.
Ha! I guess.
Yeah, live to talk another 5 minutes. There you go. Good job.
Thanks.
All right. So if you want to give Limit Break Radio a call, Limit Break Radio on Skype, 810-515-8715, limitbreakradio.com/Discord.
Okay, so I have a question to our resident no longer Dragoon Faith.
Yeah.
So why are you curbing on my job now?
What I think your job looks super interesting. It's not your job yet. It's not in the game.
You don't get to call it his job. It does not exist in this game yet. Because if you're calling it your job based on FF11, then it's also my job.
I'm not picking up Astrologian or Ninja.
Nika, you're a paladin.
Okay. Yes, in 14, but you are also a ninja. You're not a red mage.
What? Well, no, he's just saying you don't get to have an opinion.
Yeah, you're a paladin. You're
part of the
not because she's a paladin, because she's a girl.
And because she's part of the dumb people.
Yeah, that's true.
No, that was last year. This is the new year.
You haven't.
We don't know yet.
You haven't sold me on that, Nika.
Let's get to that. Are we pretty good on Red Mage here? I think we're. Have you gotten it all out of your system yet, Juxta?
Can we watch the video one more time?
No. No.
I still have some semen left in my penis, though.
Why would it be in your
I was
penis?
like, it doesn't. You want to like correct the anatomy, but you're just like,
Breaking the circle jerk hashtag give Juxta a megaphone.
Oh God, no.
Yeah.
No.
Or an air horn.
oh, my nightmare has come true.
No air horn.
That's my air horn.
No
noise.
air horn. No air. Stop.
Ran out of air.
Yeah. It was like economy size.
We're good on Red Mage. I'm just calling. I'm calling it. We're good on Red Mage. Let's talk about the other.
Okay, well, hold on. Nika, okay, so if you were a Red Mage, supposedly in 11, do you want to talk about Red Mage?
I already did.
I know she was done. I know she got it all out of her. She made her points. They were quite cogent.
No.
You have been talking. You have been babbling nonsense for 40 minutes. And
I'd rather talk about Spider-Man. Let's go.
Exactly. See, that's why it's my main, because I want to talk about Red Mage for another 40 minutes, and she has, oh no, I'm done.
I
See,
told you, I'm
that's
not-
why
well,
you're
exactly.
not a
I
Red
have
Mage
opinions.
main.
I think Red Mage looks fun because I played it before, and I like the changes they're making to it. However, I really love tanking, so I will not be maining Red Mage. But I will definitely level it, and if it's fun, it might overtake Monk as my main DPS. We'll have to see.
All right. Okay, there we go. See?
Okay, sure.
Very concise. It was done in a sentence. All right, we're moving on.
Very good job.
Moving on.
Hashtag fake Red Mage.
And talking about the other hot topic out of the 2016 Japanese Fan Fest.
Oh, swimming.
No.
Actually, yes, I'm excited about swimming.
Yeah.
Oh,
Of course you are.
How could you not?
damn it.
That means the
Why
next
should I
thing
be-
to come is
why
Blitzball.
should-
Come on, guys, we know it.
Oop.
I think Juxta needs a MLG air horn drop.
No.
No, but seriously, how could you not be excited that Blitzball is obviously the next step for the
God
gold
damn
song?
it.
Come on.
I'm not.
Come on.
Because I'm
Not
not.
like they even made diving a thing.
No, okay.
got this.
It's not about Blitzball. Pfft, duh.
It is totally about Blitz. Okay, it's actually about the Lamia Beast tribe.
No.
Yeah,
Think
we're
about
gonna
it.
dive
No.
under the water and meet them.
We just got, for the FanFest rewards, the Tidus and Yuna cosplays.
Oh, no.
We can recreate the scene now where they make out in the water and have sex.
You know what? Me and Nero got to vomit over this idea last week, so we'll let you two take that idea from here. Ugh.
Why would we be vomiting over that idea?
Because there's going to be a
That's
whole
magical.
line of people waiting for their turn to reenact the scene.
Wait, okay, we don't have anywhere that looks like Maclonia Woods, do we?
We will.
Come on.
You know we will. So let's talk about the Spider-Man t-shirt.
yeah.
The Spider-Man t-shirt reveal supposedly connected to the next job, singular.
One.
We got a bit of flack for this.
Okay, was it confirmed only 2 jobs, or was it just that one treat?
There was the tweet that was deleted. Now, to me, it says why even have the tweet in the first place? The tweet wasn't corrected. It was straight up deleted.
Because the American PR team who's in charge of Twitter fucked up.
Exactly, and they dropped some info that they shouldn't have yet. That's
Or
what
that
makes
they were just incorrect.
No. What? If they were incorrect, they would have corrected it. They would have. There would have been a corrected
No,
tweet.
because I don't think they're supposed to reveal how many jobs. So if the answer is 3 jobs and they tweeted out 2 and then they corrected it to 3, they weren't supposed to give that information at all.
Why would they do that this late in the cycle? The North American PR team knows exactly how many fucking jobs there are because most of this content has been finalized for months. So they did. I can guarantee you that they didn't fuck it up. What they fucked up was they dropped it early. That's what they fucked up. Or else they would have.
I don't know.
Or else they would have corrected the tweet.
I don't think so, because I don't think they were supposed to reveal at all how many jobs, because that's one of the biggest things people are
and they
speculating
did, and they did. They weren't supposed to, and they did, and they revealed the correct number.
You don't know that.
Why would they? Why
would they put out the wrong
Why
number?
would they put out the wrong number?
Unless it's a
Because
huge
there's only
smoke
been 2
screen.
talked about. There's been Red Mage confirmed.
Bullshit.
Obviously, the next one is
Bullshit.
talked about. So someone's like, "Oh, 1 of 2 new jobs."
No.
And they're like, wait, fuck, we're not. saying
No.
that.
Nika,
No.
you need to start playing some Blitzball
Come
because
on.
you are reaching.
Seriously,
I don't know. Okay. When there are 3 jobs, you're all gonna eat your words.
there's not going to be 3 jobs.
There will
Nika,
be.
The Dumb Club welcomes you back.
Yep.
No,
there you go. Already,
speculation. You can't
2017 already. Resolution broken. Day one. How many? How we got through?
There is no
nice job.
confirmation here.
Wait. The fact that the tweet went out and then was deleted and wasn't corrected. That to me, they know the information. They've known the information for months, and they thought, oh, we're going to reveal it here when we do the Red Mage reveal. They decided not to. And then the North American team went, oh shit, we weren't supposed to say that yet.
Chemist confirmed. Peter Parker was a master chemist. Easiest connection that makes sense. Love you guys. Happy New Year. Much love and weed. Dank.
Thank you. Thank you, Dank.
Wearing a Peter Parker shirt, he was wearing a Spider-Man shirt.
I love how everyone who's like, oh, it's obviously this.
I know,
and
right?
It's like, it's not obviously that. It
I have
might
like
be.
4 theories for this T-shirt. It could be one of a million things.
Look, I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
There is
Super Saiyan.
There
Saiyan
is
confirmed.
There's no way. There's
Saiyan confirmed.
There you go. I mean, it's the Monk expansion. Why not? Anyway, no. My point is that there's no way that the North American team would have tweeted out the number of jobs when they weren't supposed to, and also got the number of jobs wrong. Like that's.
I think they deleted it because it was wrong, not because it was too early.
No, if they what are you fucking talking about? If they deleted it because it was wrong, they would have corrected the information.
No, because they also are not supposed to reveal that there's 3. That's going to be the big thing.
What
That at the European
fucking
Fan Fest, they all think there's 2, and then he walks out in a new T-shirt. I'm telling you.
What the fuck are you talking about, Nika? That is insane. That is insane. That's a crazy person.
When he wears... Oh.
One of 2 new jobs is accurate, but we're getting a 3rd class of samurai. It's disciple of the hand.
That was my prediction
gathers
last week.
bamboo.
Get out of here. No, I'm telling you.
It's a disciple of the hand and it gathers bamboo.
Another Marvel T-shirt. I'm telling you, you're all going to eat your words.
No, it's not going to happen. He's either got to walk out on stage and reveal 2 jobs, or there is no other T-shirt reveal. This is it. EU Fan Fest, that's it.
Oh,
it's done.
That I do believe. I don't think we'll get another T-shirt, but I do think we're going to get 3 jobs.
And I guarantee you,
I guarantee another. Wait, hang on. Wait. You think there's going to be 3 jobs, but he's not going to reveal it in a T-shirt?
Yeah, I think he's going to come out, reveal whatever the second job is, and then it's going to be one of those things like at the end of it, people are like, oh, boo, no samurai. He's like, oh, yeah, and samurai. It'll be like one of those kinds of things.
Oh, my God.
I could see that. I could see.
No, but you're so adamant that the answer is 2 jobs because the tweet said so.
Yeah.
A deleted tweet said so.
Yeah.
That means it is fact.
Because they don't look. They're not gonna fuck up issuing the tweet and fuck up the number of jobs that are in there. That's just
said Yoshi shirtless at EU confirmed.
that's just
no shirt.
That's too many fails. Square Enix doesn't have that many fails in a row. Come on.
I think they do.
Come on.
They just had a whole expansion
No
of
way.
Talking about
no way.
They just had 3.0, 3.1, 3.2, 3.3.
Good burn, Nate.
Shirtless equals freelancer.
Shirtless equals freelancer.
It's not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. All right.
What
so
if he's
for the one other job that we're gonna be getting for Stormblood, we got the hint of the T-shirt, and he was wearing a Spider-Man T-shirt. So, Juxta.
Why Juxta first? I want to hear Nika's thing first.
Well, Nika's got 4 of them, so we've got to allocate a half a fucking hour for it. Juxta.
Oh, okay. Think of it. Y'all are thinking really stupid, okay? I'm going to say this right now. Really stupid. You're thinking, okay, we got Spider-Man. What could Spider-Man represent?
Yeah.
That's wrong. Don't think of it like that. Yoshi has a job, okay? He has to say, what character would fit this job, okay? People who are saying Blue Mage. And from Blue Mage, they get Spider-Man. What other Marvel character takes the abilities of people? Maybe Rogue? You don't think that would be a better character to supplement?
Oh, please. Marvel doesn't even consider the X-Men part of their Marvel canon anymore.
Except they use Scarlet Witch, and she counts as an X-Men.
Yeah, and...
no, she's part of the MCU. That's a little different.
They used Wanda Maximoff, and they'll say that in court. Thank you.
Jesus. All right, so Obviously, it's not Blue Mage. And you're not going to choose Spider-Man if he's trying to... If you have Samurai, you're not going to say, oh, Spider-Man, Samurai? Yeah, that makes sense. No.
Are you ready for disappointment?
So, here we... Come on.
This is going to be the
Spider-Man.
prediction.
Very agile.
Yeah.
Does a whole bunch of jumps and flips and shit.
Uh-huh.
He's completely smug asshole about it while he's doing it.
Uh-huh.
That tells me Dancer. Because dancers are agile. I can see them being smug assholes. Because who is going to dance someone to death and not be a smug asshole about it?
Okay. All right. So you think Dancer?
100%
Also,
Dancer.
there's another theory about Dancer is that, if we're going to stretch as far as like the director for being Samurai, we can also say that the current actor Spider-Man is a professional dancer.
Nika,
shut the fuck
God
up.
damn it! Shut up! Shut up!
I have like
Shut
1,000
up!
theories I read on Reddit. I've got all
just
those ready.
go through all of your stupid theories, Nika. Let's hear them all. Let's get it all out like a big old vomit.
One more thing though. Also, Spider-Man has web slinging things.
Yeah.
Also kind of correlates to Dancer's ribbons, which will be their weapon.
Ooh, I
was honestly actually thinking that the slinging webs was alluding to the girl in red who attacks with her sleeves.
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, we don't really know what she was attacking with, and I could see how ribbons would kind of look like sleeves in
Final Fantasy
those
Tactics. Dancers used ribbons as their primary mode of attack.
Well, there have been, I believe, ribbons have made it into another main series Final Fantasy game. It was just not the ideal weapon for Dancer.
Mm-hmm. And in Tactics, it was a kind of long range. You had a attack from 2 panels away.
Okay,
aka ranged-ish. Right. So
interesting.
It's Dancer for me.
I mean, and we do know that Yoshi-P does like to take a lot of influence from Tactics.
Mm-hmm.
That's really interesting. That's kind of a cool theory. I like that theory.
And the biggest thing, Yoshi is not about having this obscure reference. It's
the thing is, he's totally
obvious.
going weird and obscure this time. Though, like obviously, Scarlet Witch was obvious. Like he threw that out there because everyone wanted Red Mage. We knew it was coming. Bam, there's Red Mage. This time, he's purposefully picking a little bit more obscure. So I think it can really go in any direction.
Keep in mind that the 007 T-shirt did keep a lot of people guessing and speculating for a while.
That's just because they weren't really thinking properly about it. Like
nobody thought machinist.
Machine into Goldeneye makes sense. Goldeneye into machinist, that's harder. So you have to think about it from Yoshi's point of view.
Well, but with Red Mage, everyone knew Red Mage was going to be in this expansion. Like that was kind of like really, you thought there's a chance Red Mage wouldn't be in this one?
Yeah.
But I don't think it makes any sense for him to do this really complex, like shrouded in mystery T-shirt reveal for a job that everyone was pretty certain we were going to get this time around. Maybe, yes, no?
I don't think so. I mean, I think Red Mage still could have easily not been in this expansion.
Oh, no way. Come on.
I could have seen it. I mean, I could have...
No, I mean, I think you're right. No, I agree with you there. That I think that obviously everyone wanted Red Mage, and he would have been like severely disappointing his entire player base by not putting it in this expansion. But if you think about where we're going and what we're doing, he easily could have used other jobs instead of Red Mage.
That, and I'm pretty sure like they could have easily like not known how to implement Red Mage, kind of like how they're not knowing how to do Blue Mage properly.
Sure.
Because I don't want to disappoint the Red Mage fans. So
I get it, but like it's the only one of your 6 original classes that's not in the game at this point. How do you not put it in?
There's no thief.
Supposing as a dancer, DPS, healer, or possibly dodge tank.
No dodge tank.
Oh
no,
my God.
no.
It's not going to be a dodge.
Okay.
It would be, if Dancer was implemented now, knowing that Red Mage as a DPS, Dancer would be a healer.
Okay, here's
No,
my
it's
next...
going to be a DPS. I'm going to lose my mind.
My next prediction here. If we only have 2 jobs, Dancer will be a DPS.
I agree. And that's what I was going to say. Like I think we'll know whether there's a third job.
You think so they would just put 2 DPS?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I mean, how else would they balance it with a DPS and then what, a random tank or a random healer?
Healer.
I don't know. I think having a TP healer
gonna
is something we don't have yet, and it would be...
No, it's gonna be...
I'm with you. I think if Dancer is announced as a DPS, that is straight up, there's only going to be 2 jobs. If it's announced as a healer, then I think there will be a third job added as a tank.
As a tank, and
Yep.
most likely, unfortunately, Samurai.
Yeah, it'll be Samurai tank.
Samurai's going to be amazing, though.
But I thoroughly believe at this point it is going to just be 2 jobs. And it's going to be both DPS, and the queue timers are going to suck.
And I just think that the hopes for Samurai are done.
Yeah.
Any hope for Samurai is just it's been killed.
But I still feel like no matter what job you think that Spider-Man is representing, whether it's Samurai, Blue Mage, or Dancer, they're all a stretch. like all of them.
they are
'Cause when
all
you
a
think
stretch.
dancing, Spider-Man is not the first thing that comes to your mind either.
No, but okay, think of it this way. What other character would you use for a dancer as a t-shirt review? Like, you have this job, dancer. You know how it plays. What would you pick?
Well,
would you pick?
considering that the second T-shirt, I mean, it's not that he has to stick to Marvel or
But
like
you can tell
comic books
he
or
is- he
anything,
is,
because
he's
he did
doing
the
a Marvel
007. 007 wasn't a comic book.
No, but this year he's doing a Marvel thing.
Well, it seems like it. So, I mean,
Yeah. You're even as a dancer, like, unless you pick something like blatantly obvious, like a person who dances.
Or-
like
yeah,
Black
you-
Swan or something.
Yeah.
or
right.
a Broadway play or something like that. Like, that'd be completely obvious.
Walks
know.
out on stage with a Hamilton T-shirt.
And
Mark
I mean,
Hamilton?
actually, I would have seen that. Hamilton would have been a good idea.
Jedi.
No, that would. Because everyone would be like, it's gonna be the singer thing from Bravely Default.
Fuck that! It's
Or a
gonna be
songstress
MC
from
straight
Ten
up.
Two.
Come on now.
Songstress.
Man, I don't know.
I mean, you're right though. If they're
What?
It's gonna be
no, okay, he okay.
I think it's
true.
two.
When you-
I think it's two. I'm sorry, but I think it's two. And there's no way if it's
Footloose,
two.
he should have worn a Footloose t-shirt.
If it's two, and he.
Okay, no, that would make sense because there's already Grease Lightning in this game. Monk confirmed.
That's from. Wait, Grease Lightning is from Greece.
Which is from
Not
what
Footloose-
Footloose
not
is
as-
from?
No, Footloose is a very different movie.
Oh, Footloose isn't a song?
Well, it is a
Or
song,
it is a song, but it's from the movie Footloose,
Oh my God.
not Greece.
How are you this stupid?
Okay, Juxta's part of the Dumb Club confirmed.
Confirmed.
Juxta's at a club by himself.
Look, I look. If it's two jobs and Spider-Man is the only allusion that we get to whatever the second job is, there's no way it's Samurai.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, but you have to admit that when you spell out Samurai Me,
Jesus Christ!
Also, have you guys seen the Samurai Spider-Man? I'm gonna link it in chat.
Yeah, but they have one of those for stormtroopers too. So
I don't. Yeah, dude,
Just
totally.
saying.
But stormtroopers are not Marvel.
I don't want to worry you, but it's just me in here right now. Everyone else has left the room.
I don't even care because Sam Raimi was not my idea. But I do think that when you spell it out, it does in Japanese. It looks almost exactly like Samurai.
But he's not currently directing. He didn't direct them any of them when they were owned by Marvel.
3 of them. I don't care. Also,
He did direct 3 of them, but currently, like Sony still owns them. Now they're working with Marvel, and it's not directed by him anymore.
I don't even care. And that Samurai Spider-Man is totally legit. I do think there is more actually evidence to it being Blue Mage. However,
Yeah.
I also don't think it's Blue Mage. But I do think, people like he was bit by a spider. He got the spider's powers.
Yeah.
That sounds like Blue Mage. Also, when he revealed the Spider-Man shirt, he said, "Oh, we're talking about Red Mage. I'm going to wear a red shirt," and he purposely alluded to the color.
I'm super into the idea of both Blue Mage and Red Mage releasing in this
so
one.
what is the other color of Spider-Man's outfit other than red?
Blue.
Black.
It's blue. So I feel like,
And
Actually,
white.
damn it, he's right.
And
but
white.
I don't feel like he would put, because if Blue Mage comes out, there's no way it's anything other than a DPS. No way in hell. So I just cannot see him putting 2 Mage DPS at the same time.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I actually feel like Spider-Man, when I think Spider-Man, I think Blue Mage. Honest to God, more than anything else. But I just cannot see them putting 2 Mage DPS. I just can't.
Okay, well, hold on. No, let's think about this. Right now, there's only 2 mage DPS in the game, and the only format that fits that is 2 ranged DPS in the game, ranged physical. So why not put 2 in the game so then we can go back to melees in the next expansion?
Why not do 1 of each now and do 1 of each later and put Blue Mage in the next expansion? Especially because
Because of the conflict between red and blue.
No, especially okay, I see that.
I mean,
But
there could be a big thematic play between red and blue here.
there could be. I also see like the Middle Eastern inspired garb as being like all amigo. Like I get all of that, but and it's hard for me.
I mean, if you look at Red Mage though, Red Mage is incredibly like Eastern European.
It is.
But and they also confirmed that it'll be coming not from a Stormblood area.
Right,
We are going to get it
exactly.
out of one of our areas.
See, now that to me has a really interesting narrative connotation because, and I said this on the last episode, because of the historical conflict between black and white magic. I mean, that's been a big ongoing conflict in this game. It's
But
led.
not at all in All Amigo though.
We don't really know that. We don't really know. We don't know that much enough
I guess
about
we don't know what's currently
Alamigo.
going on, but we knew what went on in Alamigo before the last 20 years.
Right.
And you really think that Garlemald is going to come in and all of a sudden this big blue and red magic thing's going to happen? I don't think so. In 20 years,
I
that's
can
not
see
very
that.
long.
But
Hold
I could
on,
see
hang on.
abolishing magic.
But the conflict between black and white magic has been large enough. That conflict has been large enough and encompassing enough to spur a calamity. So, I mean, when you're talking about that big of a conflict between forces.
The word for spider in Japanese also means cloud. Several of Cloud's weapons were katanas. Seems super obvious if you speak Japanese.
Oh my fucking God.
You have to think from Yoshi's point of view. Also, though, and it was at the Japanese Fan Fest. Keep that in mind. Secondly, though,
that's painful. This is painful reaching. This is just desperation.
Look at the statue that comes with the collector's edition of Stormblood. There is no way what he's holding is not a great katana.
Doesn't matter.
When have we ever had like a villain, a Garlean, and we have their job in the thing ever?
Thank you.
He obviously stole it from someone else. Why would he's obviously not going to be our teacher.
What?
He obviously obtained the samurai job from somewhere else. Like
you keep using that word, but I don't think you know what it means.
Did he attach a gun to it? That's
it's not obvious. None of this is obvious. You're inferring quite a bit.
People already thought the image he showed at our fan fest looked like a great katana, but that statue, they showed the collector's edition. He is very obviously holding a very long, skinny blade, and that is not a one-handed sword or a Dark Knight sword. Absolutely is.
I'm not saying that it is, but when has a Garlean and whatever weapon they wield ever had an impact on any part of this game? Ever?
When have they ever wielded a weapon that wasn't a job?
I mean, not
giant shield guy. Rith ran.
There you go. There's one. He had shield cannons. But other than that, I mean, you've got to figure that they've got to animate all of that stuff. So either it's sword animations that already exist, and you're just switching out the sword
samurai
type.
Animations.
Maybe they are. You don't. I mean, but to say obviously or to imply.
What I'm saying is obvious is that his sword is not like any sword we have right now. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, but that's a wild logic jump to go. Oh, obviously that means samurai.
Totally.
Nero has a gun hammer, so clearly Beastmaster confirmed.
Look,
which, by the way, if we get Beastmaster, your stupid ass is gonna main that job, and not Red Mage.
It is. I said that last week, though.
Yeah,
I'm saying that right the fuck now.
No, he did say that last week.
Yeah, I'm saying it now.
But no, look, we got Dark Knight, and we never saw those animations added into the game. Just having some character animations doesn't necessarily mean we're going to get them. And I just like looking at the evidence, Nika, you are reaching so hard.
I'm not reaching.
Sword Master, you're reaching. Sword Hunter, whatever your name is.
There's equal evidence for Dancer, though, as there is for Samurai. I honestly think
no way.
No way.
You're insane.
How about this? At NA Fan Fest, Yoshi and Koji refused to talk about the Dancer or the Lady in Red's ribbons at all. They would not answer any questions about that.
But again, when has the opening cutscene of the expansion actually made a difference? Like, look at Heavensward's opening cutscene. None of that actually happens in the storyline.
Yeah, but they're not showing off a goddamn... They're not showing off, like, fucking, I don't know, Shadow Master or something.
It's very obvious that she's just doing Kung Fu, which is another form of martial arts. It's not dancing.
I still want my sweet armor that changes and like grips onto my body. Like that looked awesome. I didn't get any of that shit.
She's definitely using like sleeves or ribbons or something, but her style of fighting isn't dancing. It's just like what the monk is doing.
Man,
I mean, I wouldn't put anything weird kind of stretch that monk might get a new stance or something. Totally down for that.
I mean, if you discount the fact that the Lady in Red like is attacking with ribbons in a really cool, different way than a monk, then it's completely the same as monk.
She's not in a different way. She's attacking almost the exact same way.
I don't know. Those animations seem a lot more unique to me than the non-existent Xenos animations.
Do Fists of Wind and it's extremely dancey. Like it to me just screams monk.
I don't know. I think you're wrong. I think the only hope that you have for Samurai is that there are, in fact, 3 jobs coming.
If there are 3 jobs, I'm saying Red Mage, Dancer, Samurai, for sure.
But that's a pretty big if, given the evidence to the contrary. There is
a deleted tweet. I don't call that evidence.
That is... Really?
Really?
Okay. Let's go back to our phone lines. We've got a caller who's been hanging on. Is he still...
Another landline.
Okay,
yeah,
another landline caller. Hey, what's up, caller? Welcome to Limit Break Radio.
Hey, what's up, guys? How's it going? Sevo Kevo.
Hey, what's up, Sevo? How's it going? Happy New Year.
Thank you. I'm just chilling up here with these Manigoras and enjoying myself hearing y'all arguing, bitching over about what the other job's going to be. Just chilling out.
Right on.
I'm just wanting to get my own opinion on it.
All right. Well, let's hear it. What do you think? Do you think there's gonna? Let's start with the 2 jobs, 3 jobs. What do you think? 2 jobs or 3?
When they tweeted out accidentally on that there was 2 jobs and then deleted, when they accidentally deleted, we can't actually fully say it can go either direction. Like they could easily do say it was 2, but then the dev team has something hidden under their sleeve and they didn't tell anybody, and only the dev team knew and not the rest of the Square Enix team.
Okay, so now we're getting into conspiracy theory level territory where the developers
they could. I mean, it is a chance. Last FanFest, I didn't even think that last time when we had Heaven's Word, I didn't even think they was going to do 3. Like, they could easily do a job drop like they did with Astrologian, where they gave the shirt for Dark Knight, and then they gave a shirt for Machinist, but they never gave a shirt for Astrologian. That would be after they announced it, they job dropped the Astrologian.
But there's a slim chance. I have about 80-20% chance that it'll be 2 jobs, but there is, because they deleted the tweet, they didn't say anything else, that there can possibly be a 3rd. No way. If there was going to be 3 jobs, okay, yeah, just go ahead, talk over me. If there was going to be 3 jobs, then that tweet would never have been written in the first place.
Like they wrote out the word 2. It's not like they fat fingered 3.
Yeah, no, that's really the thing is that there was intent. There was purpose behind that. And I think someone saw it and went, yeah, we're not making that announcement yet because that's going to ruin a lot of the hype. They're not actually ever going to come out and say, oh, it's only 2 jobs. We're just only going to ever get 2 jobs announced. They're never going to confirm that ever.
You don't think so?
No, I don't.
Well, here's one thing. We do now know that only about half the information's been dropped. What the hell else are they holding back then? We have a lot of information that still needs to be dropped for us.
No, you're right. I mean, EU FanFest is going to be huge.
Oh, yeah.
Which doesn't make any sense because it's Europe.
Well, no, it does make sense because this is going to be the biggest gap in between content injections. We've still got 3.5 that we're going through. And, one of the things that Yoshi said is that's the reason why European FanFest is so loaded down with information is because 3.5 is going to be giving us a lot of context.
And it's dropping before Europe.
Yes.
So that's why they're going to be loaded with the rest of expansion stuff.
Right, exactly. So it's a lot of stuff that if they were to tell us now in a narrative sense, it would be spoiler territory, and you don't really want that. Now,
that's not fair.
Why?
Because I want that information at Las Vegas. Can we have another FanFest?
No, we can't.
Actually, I had a dream that there was another FanFest in America. And I remember thinking, man, this one is so much smaller than the last one. I'm like, well, I guess it wouldn't really be fair that, they gave America 2 FanFests and Europe only got 1. So I guess it's fair that ours was smaller. It was like this whole thing.
Now, look, and I understand Sevo Kevo's point that, the way that they did the Heaven's Word job reveals, it could be a very similar pattern. You're right.
I forgot there wasn't a shirt for Astrologian.
There wasn't a...
How did they... Because didn't they reveal Astrologian before the 007 t-shirt?
No, it was both.
No, it was after.
It was both those. It was both the jobs on stage at FanFest at the same time.
So they revealed Astrologian and then Oh Hey shirt.
Yes. No, it was Oh Hey. By the way,
here's the third video.
Third job.
Yeah.
It went straight into the 3rd job, and that's the only hope, Nika, that I feel like you have here for Samurai is that he's going to go.
That tweet
is
damning.
Oh yeah, that tweet says a whole lot. And my point that I was going to make was that in the Heaven's Word promotion, they never said we're only getting 2 jobs. They never ever said that, even in a deleted tweet. In no context was that ever implied. There was always a question like, how many jobs are we actually going to be getting?
maybe it was a tactical obfuscation.
Come on,
Square Enix.
Stop it! Don't. That is some conspiracy theory level tinfoil hat stuff right there.
Is it beyond Yoshi-P?
Yeah, I honestly, looking at the way that they promote this game, I kind of think it is.
If you're blaming Yoshi-P, wouldn't it have been posted on all Twitters, or at least on like the Japanese Twitter, not the American one? It sounds to me like the American team just fucked up in one way or another.
Yeah.
Okay, or is it beyond Koji Fox?
Come on, man. You're giving them way too much credit as an organization. No way. Sevo Keva, what do you think about the Spider-Man t-shirt?
Well, I was going to try to say something else, but I think you had me muted up. But also, there could be a possibility, real quick, that the person that was typing up just said, "Oh, it's only going to be 2 jobs." We can't. We're
getting a little bit too, Sevo. We're getting a little bit too bogged down on this, which is why I had muted you so that we could get on to the next point. So, what do you think is the Spider-Man t-shirt?
So many theories. It's kind of hard to sell. Like, yeah, one, you gotta say the director, Samurai. I don't know. One says the Blue Mage, but I don't know how they're going to make that fit, because as a Blue Mage, saying Beastmaster, I don't know how that even going to fit in the game. Dancer, that's just reaching, saying, oh, because he's a good dancer. I can't really predict. I could say something and people are going to clap at me saying it's going to be this, but the only thing I could say is just it's what I think it could be, but I can be possibly wrong. Everybody can be it. And
what do you think?
Bashing on each other about it.
Well, what do you think, Sevo?
20 words or less.
If I could say, if I had 2 options of what it could be,
you only got one.
I would
You only got one. You only get one.
They were talking about most. I would say Blue Mage or Samurai.
Okay, we're gonna go.
Blue Mage.
Blue Mage. Blue Mage. It is. Yeah, Blue Mage. It is. So I mean, I think Blue Mage is a pretty good working theory. I also think Dancer is a pretty good working theory based on with the footage that we've seen. The biggest reach to me is still Samurai.
Oh, there's way bigger reaches than Samurai.
But I don't know. I still it's weird that
wait, hang on. I need to rewind that. Nika, Dancer is still a reach for you based on what? Like, to me, Dancer is the biggest possibility based on the actual Stormblood trailer that we've seen.
And that's fine. I think it's the biggest reach coming from Spider-Man.
Okay, all right, fine. That's fair. I'll give you that. It is a pretty big reach coming from Spider-Man, although I do kind of... Juxta's justification is pretty
Just answer me
convincing.
the question, Nika. Spider-Man... Dancer is more of a reach than Samurai for Spider-Man?
Honest to God, like the T-shirt is confusing the fuck out of me.
Okay,
like,
all right.
I think that Samurai and Dancer are an equal amount of reach, and I think most of the signs point to Blue Mage. However, not only will I think that he won't release 2 Mage DPS in the same expansion, but with the way that our battle system works, Yoshi has already confirmed Blue Mage would not fit into our battle system. And you can sit here and scream, they're reworking the battle system, but are they really? They're rethinking about certain useless abilities and taking them out of the game, but our entire battle system is not getting reworked. The way that we get abilities by job quests is not getting reworked.
Well,
I don't think that Blue Mage would fit into our game now.
Hang on. Let's just be clear that literally any job just by name and by animation alone can be added to FF14. There is no Final Fantasy job that I can think of that would.
But it wouldn't be Blue Mage if you're learning your abilities from job quests. It's just it just wouldn't.
Right.
Congratulations. That's what every job is going to be. Like
which is why I don't think Blue Mage would be added yet.
If they're going to add Blue Mage at all, it's not going to deviate from that structure because no job can.
That's why I'm not sure that Blue Mage would be added. I mean, he already said that it's not an easy one to fit into our system. So I think that they would wait on that because they've already put in a Mage DPS already. And there's no way that Blue Mage would be a healer or a tank. And I can't see them putting 2 Mage DPS right now.
Now that I agree with. I think floating 2 DPS jobs in one expansion is going to be a difficult sell for Square Enix.
And if they do that, I don't think it would be 2 magic DPSs, 2 Mage DPSs.
And even going further than that, I don't think they're going to add 2 jobs that also use swords in the same expansion.
But Red Mage, they already said it counts as a mage DPS.
Come on,
even if
now
they're
I
attacking
gotta-
with a sword.
No,
they're
no,
not
no.
going to be slashing or piercing damage. They're going to be magic.
I've got to call you out on that because you know that there's a difference between a rapier and a katana. I mean, there's a huge difference.
Okay, but it's still a sword.
Well, so is a dagger, technically, if you're going to go by that.
Yeah. Have you seen
but
the ninja weapons nowadays? Those are
They're
definitely
short
swords. Yeah.
Yeah, but you can't claim that considering Red Mage uses magic on their swords, and they're also like pokey swords, whereas a samurai or a dancer would maybe use ribbons, maybe daggers. I don't know.
Steak Thief, let's do an FF8 throwback to Quistis and have
Blue Mage whip.
Yeah, Blue Mage uses whips.
FF5 too, right? Didn't they use?
I don't know.
No, that's Beastmaster.
Beastmaster.
Yeah. All right. So
just too many swords.
Sevo Kevo, thanks for the call. We appreciate it. Limit Break Radio on Skype, 810-515-8715, limitbreakradio.com/Discord if you want to call in. We want to hear from you. What do you think about the Red Mage announcement? How do you think Red Mage is going to work? And what do you think the next job added or announced is going to end up being to FF14? All right, why don't we take a look at this Game Watch interview that Yoshida did. I mean, was there anything? What you're like gesticulating over there, Juxta? I don't know.
No, don't worry about me.
Okay.
I'm trying to copy and paste, and it's not copy and pasting.
Okay. I think we've gotten all of our speculation out of our systems now. We've heard from all of the hosts now about what their theories about the new job is going to be, how Red Mage is going to operate. But again, we want to hear from you. Limit Break Radio on Skype, 810-515-8715, limitbreakradio.com/Discord. Before we get into the Famitsu article, let's go back to our phone lines and talk to Hero Maniac of the Cactar server. What's going on, Hero?
Not much. Just calling in for the first time.
Oh, well, welcome.
First time call. You should have said that when I put you at the front of the line.
Hero, what do you have a thought on the shirt that Yoshi-P wore out at Japanese Fan Fest?
Yeah, so of course it's just as much of a stretch as just about anything else we're coming up with, but you guys were talking last week about there's obviously something that Yoshi-P knows about Spider-Man that all of us just aren't quite figuring out. I was talking with my friends about it, and that's when I was reminded that when Spider-Man was first taken to Japan, it was released as a Super Sentai Ranger.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It was?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was only aired for a year or so, but it was a Super Sentai Ranger. And from the event that we had with the Moonfire Fair, that armor that we got for the posing Rangers is still kind of fairly Eastern. That's what was making me think samurai on that one.
I still think that's a stretch.
It's still a huge stretch, but it is
Everything
something
is a
else
stretch,
that the Japanese would understand about Spider-Man that we didn't quite catch.
Okay, so that's a fair point, but I will kind of push back with this point. Why, if Yoshi-P knew that he had an international audience and that this was not just an announcement to the Japanese and to the Japanese player base, but that this was going to be an announcement that was poured over by international fans, why would he pick something that would be so specifically referencing something in Japanese culture? That, to me, doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense.
Speculation. We know this. He wants us to speculate.
And my question is
not 5 seconds after he walked out there, he's like, "There's already a Reddit thread about my shirt." Like,
hang on,
he already knows this.
No. Because he's a smart marketer. That's not my point. My point is that he's not that obtuse with his hints.
Well, that's my question. Is when he did the Scarlet Witch announcement here, do people in Japan know who the hell Scarlet Witch is?
Well, since the MCU, of course, everyone knows who Scarlet Witch is.
Since the movie,
but they don't call her that in the MCU.
Well,
come on.
I don't know. I don't know. In Japan, do they know much about Scarlet Witch? Was that
they
more
know as much
vague
as
for them?
in the movie. I think that if she had not been in the Avengers movies, I think that would have been very obscure. Because they probably would not know as much about the comics. But because she's been in the movies, I think it's fair game.
Okay.
Yeah, it's to me that seems a little obtuse.
Reach an audience over there. They're in the theaters.
I'm just saying, it just seems a little obtuse for.
I just don't think the game can handle another sword class.
Samurai should be sword class 2.
Just here's the thing, though. Like, it is a little obtuse, but like, what job could it be where you wouldn't have called that hint obtuse? There isn't one.
Answer.
Yeah. Unless the new job is that you turn into a spider hybrid, and you're like, oh, well, that was very on the nose. Fair enough. What about the Animorph class?
Hang on just a second. Now, if he was going out there to hint at Samurai, there is literally a bajillion other T-shirts that he could have worn that could have hinted at Samurai.
Okay, like, if he's going with the Marvel theme, though, who's another Marvel character that
The
could have
Silver
been Samurai?
Samurai?
Silver Samurai!
But that would have been so obvious.
Oh my
yeah,
god.
exactly. It's Yoshi-P.
We would have gotten no speculation out of it.
Dude.
Did we get speculation out of Scarlet Witch, really?
No, we didn't.
Yeah.
We also didn't get much speculation out of Dark Knight either.
The first one he comes out with is totally obvious. Dark Knight, Red Mage, and then the next one he wants us to speculate until the next fan fest. That's why he does it.
Come on.
Was GoldenEye really that much speculation?
It really wasn't.
It was, because people thought...
Not after the Mustadio.
We
No.
we went to Spy, and we went to all these other Assassins.
No, not after.
class.
Yeah, not after the Mustadio. I mean, it was pretty much a toss-up between Machinist and, Chemist at that point?
Corsair.
Yeah.
Because we pretty much knew that it was coming out of Tactics. Like, there was a lot of hints that it was coming out of Tactics.
And we didn't see them.
That's
we
true.
didn't see all those hints right away, too. Corsair was a big contended one, as well as going back to the fact we had a Musketeers Guild in the DAT files and in 1.0 and all that. So, there was a lot of speculation. I feel like people were throwing chemists around back then, too. There was so much going on that, we knew a gun. That's all we knew. Gun.
Yeah.
Could have been a lot of different classes.
Maybe.
Nobody said machinist with a turret.
No, remember what he said. He said, it's not what you think it is. That was his big clue with gun
That's
class.
right. You're right.
That's why I went as on chemist all the time.
Right. Yeah. No. You're right.
Chuck is always right.
But when looking back on that, though, Machinist, though, seems a little on the nose.
Yeah.
Which seems a little at odds with that hint.
I think...
I'm just saying. Just into observation.
I think people were thinking, Gunslinger or Ranger or strictly...
I've heard Gunslinger thrown around now because of the fucking Spider-Man t-shirt.
Don't even humor
it's
that.
Dumb.
Stop.
It's dumb.
But he's called Webslinger. But no, I can't see there being another
Nika,
gun.
don't even lend that theory any credibility, please.
I think there's 50,000 theories, and every single one of them is reaching. So, what can you do at this point? All we can do is wait for the European Fan Fest and wait for him to confirm.
You can berate and make fun of the dumbest ones, and that is one of the dumbest ones.
Okay.
Along with Samurai.
Right,
Along with Samurai, yes. Juxta is absolutely correct.
No.
Hero, so did you, it's a pretty big reach on the shirt theory there. So how about for Red Mage? Do you have any expectation on how Red Mage is going to end up performing?
Well, I was kind of mentioning it earlier in chat. One of the things when you were kind of talking earlier about it kind of being kind of analogous to Ninja, with Ninja we have kind of the TP regeneration for allies and kind of hate management.
Right.
Kind of one of the things I thought would be maybe it would give the MP regen and then also maybe kind of a healing augmentation, maybe kind of like what Mantra does or something like that.
Okay, yeah. I could see that. I think AoE abilities, like AoE support abilities, something that either makes the healer's job easier or helps with like an AoE small regen tick or something. I think that those would be incredibly useful tools to be able to have as a Red Mage and to actually be able to utilize in a party. I think a lot of those, especially in terms of an AoE ability, I think a lot of those are kind of lacking at the moment, and if we had a streamlined way to be able to do some of that kind of buffing, that would be pretty cool. That would be a pretty good addition to the battle spectrum, I guess. Anyway, thank you, Hero, for the call. You got any New Year's shout-outs before we let you go?
Just the rest of my peeps in Cactuar.
That's what's up. Thank you, Hero Maniac, first-time caller from Cactuar. If you want to get your calls in, Limit Break Radio on Skype, 810-515-8715, limitbreakradio.com/Discord.
Oh, my gosh.
What?
I just thought of something. We didn't get a shirt for Astrologian when they announced Machinist. So, and what would you really put for a shirt for Astrologian?
Right.
So that means the third job, when we get the third one, will be out of left field.
You think so?
It's not exactly what Sevo Kevo just said.
We're going to get Mime. would you represent mine?
I need you to do me a favor and just get the fuck out.
Actually, you could wear Mr. Mime. He's a Pokemon.
Or you could wear Mystique from Marvel.
Oh, there you go. Oh, dude, he's got you on that one. Mystique would be a good
You don't
one.
transform into other people, though.
I mean, the X-Men, don't get me wrong, the X-Men suck. And
But she's a Brotherhood of the...
Nah, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
She's not X-Men.
All right, let's talk about this Famitsu article. I'm sorry, not Famitsu. It's Game Watch.
Spider-Man has spider sense, which means sensing danger. Calling it now Oracle.
Oracle? Wow.
Okay. I don't even really know how to respond
Cryo
to
does
that.
have the Oracle sprite from Final Fantasy XIII.
So I feel really stupid. I've been calling this the Famitsu article. It's actually an interview with Game Watch. My apologies.
They're not the same?
No, they're not.
Oh.
No.
Stupid idiot.
So the Yoshi-P talked a little bit to Game Watch just after the Japanese Fan Fest, and talked about. It says he was less nervous this time compared to Las Vegas because the announcements weren't as major. So I mean that's
I don't know. I say swimming is a pretty major announcement.
Get the fuck out.
No, I mean it is a big gameplay change, is what I'm going for here.
No, it is. But the thing is I feel like, and he kind of talks about this later, that because they're holding so much back for the European Fan Fest, that Japanese Fan Fest was definitely the lightest of all the three.
Japanese Fan Fest is always that way, I feel like, too, with like the fact that it's smaller in the first place, like it's a lottery to get in, and like I was watching the room too, and it seemed like during all of the panels, like I didn't see any computers or anything around. Like it just seemed like a big room where people were just standing. Like I don't know how they run their Fan Fest, but it's very different than the American one, that's for sure.
I was gonna ask if they had a primal challenge, and if they did they get a T-shirt?
I don't know.
I'll be mad if they did.
That's a good question. I have no idea.
Very salty.
So patch 3.5 will be a turning point after NA and JP Fan Fest. Patch 3.5 Part 2 will come shortly after the EU Fan Fest and will lead nicely into 4.0. So all of the info that's sort of critical, that they're going to hang back and reveal that after Part 2, and sandwiched in between Part 1 and Part 2 of 3.5 will have the EU Fan Fest right in between those. And I have to imagine that this is where we're going to get a big dump. Big dump. We're gonna get a big. We're gonna get a big dump of information, and
a really big load,
and stuff that they can't really express right now without completely spoilering and wrecking the storyline. And I appreciate that. Like I think that the fact that they're mindful of that is very cool. We'll also probably be getting the extended trailer for Stormblood at the EU Fan Fest.
And I was waiting for it at the Japanese one, so I was sad when we didn't get it.
I think needing the context of 3.5 makes sense.
Yeah.
So
I really wanted the song.
Yeah,
song would have been cool.
The song is cool.
We do know that Uematsu is officially composing it.
That's right, and
that it's like 60% done.
And because Uematsu's composing it, there's a pretty good chance that Susan Calloway is continuing to work on it. So, because
he did say he hopes
to
to have a new announcement about the song at the European Fan Fest. So I'm hoping that'll either mean that Susan is doing it or it's finished here. Have a sneak peek.
Right. Yeah. So as of the Japanese Fan Fest, only half of all the info has been revealed.
Good. That means like
how do they determine that? Like,
is it half of all the information surrounding Stormblood, half of all of the information that they have allocated for FanFest? Like,
yeah, that's what I'm wondering too,
Yeah.
because I can't imagine that they would tell us everything about the expansion at the EU Fan Fest.
Right.
Like they're going to leave some of it for live letters, and they're going to leave some of it for actual expansion release.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a very kind of weird statement. I don't know what really to expect.
I mean, how much weight do they put into stuff like Stormblood is the expansion that was part of the NA? Like, how much percent of of that is info. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You can't weigh like here's a new job to PS3 support being cut. Like that's not quite the same level of information.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not really sure how to quantify that.
Especially because we all expected the expansion announcement, so it was kind of like not even really news that it was dropped.
Right. Yeah. And confirming that EU FanFest will get more reveals since it takes place after the initial patch 3.5. Again, that's coming on January 17th.
That's close.
Yep. And we'll give players a hurry feeling.
Hurry.
I want more.
What? Wait, hurry is in like the storyline, like like how the last one we were like running out of Hurry, or is it hurry as in like we want more?
Yeah, I think let's get. Can it be June now? Please?
Yeah. I think that's
a bad feeling because then we're going to be sitting around and it's going to be even worse when we're waiting in the big wall.
When is EU FanFest?
February.
Right?
February. Yeah. I actually think that what he's trying to say is that they're structuring the reveals so that the most hype is going to be generated for the reveal or the release. So, for Red Mage, the Red Mage was decided on very early on in the process, and Yoshi-P considers it a essential job to the FF mythos.
It's pretty fair.
Unlike Thief, which is not essential.
Aw, poor Kahlo.
Oh, Thief and
But
Ninja are like
just as
essentially the same
good.
thing.
Is it though?
It's not.
Is it? No.
You know it's not.
In terms of the story, though, the way that the Rogues Guild is established, pretty much.
You know it's not, though. To him, you know it's not. He can say
him,
it.
no, but in the
He
mythos
can
of the
say
game,
it all he wants, but I don't believe it. Not even for a second.
No. You know he would switch in an instant if they released Thief Job. In a heartbeat.
Can't quite answer the question whether or not the rapier attacks are physical or not.
What?
I think that says end spell to me. That says end spell.
I mean, because they're considered magic DPS, they're not considered melee DPS. So it's absolutely going to be you can cast magic, or you can put magic on your sword and do magic damage with your sword.
Right. Yeah.
Doing magic DPS.
Yeah, like the type of damage that's going out is not going to be physical.
Okay,
right?
well that's
like,
not
that makes
fair.
sense.
Because
Why?
summoners can auto attack with a book and
Shut
get
up.
Physical
Oh my
damage.
god, get out of here.
With how unique FF14 is, Yoshi said that they had to distill about half of Red Mage while retaining the essence of the design. Thinks it will become a new entry for Red Mages in the series. Now, Juxta, what do you think about that? Because, I mean, being a traditionally, you're very well rooted in Red Mage. You've been a fan of it since long before FF11.
Right.
So what do you think about, FF14 having to make some concessions here and distill, quote unquote, about half of Red Mage?
Well, it just depends on what the other half is. Like if they said, okay, we need to have a way to get Red Mage into melee combat. And to do that, we have to concede that they have to have a teleportability type of thing. That's fine because that's a fun mechanic and stuff, So if the part that's distilled is fun and useful and stuff, then I'm fine with that. I'm pretty sure they're gonna have to get rid of the whole red or the black magic and white magic, taking all the weakest spells. They probably had to get rid of that aspect of that, which is fine because in 11. Most of their best spells were Red Mage only, so basically red magic.
Do you think any of their spells will have any kind of elemental factor to them? I mean, because you would think that they would, right?
Didn't it look like some of the ones when he put the medium onto the end of the sword and cast? Didn't that look elemental?
Yeah, it did. I'm pretty sure after he does the sword strikes and he quick casts something, it looks like a whole bunch of fire spells blowing up. So
yeah,
I'm sure there'll be elementals, although it doesn't really matter in this game.
I kind of read distill about half of Red Mage as we're putting this into the game as a melee or as a magic DPS. We had to take out a lot of the healing of Red Mage.
Okay, that's probably fair. That's probably fair. I could see that because Red Mage traditionally has had a lot of healing utility,
and they're traditionally pretty big on support and casting buffs because buffs typically don't use a damage formula, which Red Mage is usually weak at.
So
let's be real though. As long as we had the Red Mage with the hat, people would be happy though.
It's really
As long as if they take away that hat, people would be drawn.
I don't know. I think buffing is a pretty essential theme to a Red Mage as well. I mean, that's going to be pretty important.
Yeah, I mean, even like back in like Final Fantasy V, like all the best spells were Red Mages just casting Shell and Protect on your party and stuff. So.
Right. Yeah. No. Totally. So okay. Distilling about half of Red Mage down. I think that's probably a pretty good working theory, Escalia, that they probably removed the healing aspect, and that's what it's supposed to be referring to.
I can still see them have healing support though, like a regen or something like that.
Yeah, I can see them having like spells like that do buff, and that's kind of the white element of them now.
Yeah, I'd be fine if they got rid of like their healing aspect if they kept like the buffing part, because that's traditionally what Red Mage is mostly about.
So,
and if they want to classify it as a DPS and yet they still have like strong cures, I don't think it would end up being a DPS. It would end up being, and that's not what they're going.
No, you're
for,
right.
So.
You're right. Yeah, I think that starts to muddle the territory of what a DPS is supposed to be doing if they've got to be paying attention to health bars as well. So there's no concrete answer on whether or not Red Mages will be using red magic or not. So I think that they're keeping this purposefully malleable and open so that they can they can kind of do whatever the hell they want with it and be able to balance the job properly. Because again, FF14 jobs, since they work in more or less isolation of each other, except for like a half a dozen shared abilities, when you have to balance a job, it's not quite as complicated as balancing a job in FF11, because you have the consideration of sub-jobs there as well, and how do the sub-job abilities end up balancing the job out. But with FF14, since you've only got those cross-class abilities are the only things that any job share, you can pretty much make adjustments to jobs in isolation from one another and be able to make, these sort of like sweeping adjustments to, say, astrologians without making sweeping adjustments to healers overall.
We do know that they're reworking the way that those shared abilities work, though.
Right.
They said they were doing.
And I would imagine to make that that division feel a little bit more distinct. It is what helps a job feel a little bit distinct from one another, but it is also sort of the cop out way of developing those jobs, because there is literally so little overlap that you get to adjust those job the potencies of different abilities sort of in a vacuum. It really only kind of comes in with like buffs and debuffs, where you've got to have like a party application to be able to really sort of suss out the way that a lot of those end up balancing. So on the Spider-Man T-shirt, Yoshi-P, we'll start here first on auto attacks. You can auto attack, but like I said, we'll be going silent for a while. We have a mechanism incorporated so that there isn't much damage loss when you're at range, but that's all I can say for now.
So
that's interesting.
I think it'll just switch between an animation type. I think the damage will probably end up staying exactly the same, and your just animation type will switch between when
you're just shooting little magic balls.
Yeah, when you're close enough to the target, you've got your sword out, and when you go far enough away where the auto attacks would normally stop, you then end up auto switching to some kind of ranged attack.
Really? Because
But black mages and those kind of things don't auto attack at all unless you're up close.
That's what I was gonna say. Is black mage and summoner can auto attack, but they don't.
Right.
I mean, they talk about a mechanism so that when you're at a range, there's not much damage loss. It makes it sound like that when you're farther away, maybe certain spells will do more damage to compensate.
Right. Yeah, well, when you're a melee, though, and you move far enough away from the target, then you stop auto-attacking. And you would think that if your job is to be a DPS and you move, you have to be maintaining sometimes a close proximity, sometimes a very distant proximity, that there would be some kind of DPS loss if you were strictly limited to just your rapier for auto attack damage, right?
Keep in mind, though,
we don't know that it's supposed to be a melee class. It's just a mage. It's a mage DPS. Didn't they say it was ranged DPS?
They do call it a ranged.
They
DPS.
do. Yeah, they do call it a ranged DPS.
So that means I don't think they rely on auto attacks at all. Probably, if they do auto attack, either it's going to be very minimal damage that doesn't make a difference, or they're going to have some kind of mechanism that like certain things do more damage when you're up close, or you can only do them up close. Certain things do more damage, or you can only be done when you're not by the boss. So
that's
that way it balances the damage.
That's going to end up pissing off all of these red mages who really want to
melee red mage.
Yeah, who really want to utilize the sword part of the job.
That's why I feel like there will be some abilities that can only be done up close and some abilities that can only be done from afar. So that way there's an equal like kind of hybrid. So that way there's a hybrid job without being.
So why not just have a different set of animations that fire when you're close enough, and just have a pretty persistent auto attack that happens no matter where you are?
Maybe they will, but I feel like the word mechanism incorporated doesn't to me sound like that's what they're doing. But.
I don't know. Keep in mind that your auto attack is based off of your strength, and as a caster DPS, you're not going to have a lot of strength, so your auto attack is going to do like 100 damage per hit.
That is if it maintains physical. It's not maintaining. They already said it's going to be.
It's probably going to be.
It's going to be magic-based strikes. So if you're firing an end spell, then your damage is not necessarily going to be calculated off strength.
Based on your intelligence.
Yeah, it's going to be calculated off your magic damage.
Yeah. Because isn't ninjas based on their. And bards, both based on dex?
Dex, yeah.
Yeah, it's because dex is because it's for ranged automatically, and ninja is because they're retarded and made them a dex-based class because.
Right, but even range, like still though, they do have an auto attack. So I just feel like it's not going to be that hard to make Red Mage's auto attack based on something else.
Let's ask the real question: will their first anime weapon be joy use?
Obviously.
The real question.
Yeah, no, it should. So on the Spider-Man t-shirt, Yoshi-P responded, "Oh, that was nothing."
Oh,
okay.
Oh, that was easy. Okay.
All right, we're done.
We're out.
Show's over. We've solved that riddle. There isn't just one director for Spider-Man, though.
Okay, he's speaking directly to Nika at this point.
Yeah.
No, he's speaking directly to Reddit. Is what
no, he's speaking to you, Nika.
I think, yeah, he says...
Look at the next line. Maybe it's a spiderweb class. Get out.
Blue Mage confirmed?
Maybe it is a spiderweb class.
I'm going to get my spider hybrid person?
What I also find funny is he said, oh, that was nothing. And then he says, well, it's a job that has a Final Fantasy feel to it.
Yeah, right.
Like, okay, yes, it was nothing, clearly, but you just confirmed it was.
But he says it's a job that has a Final Fantasy feel to it, not one that's intrinsically connected to the history of Final Fantasy.
So mine?
And maybe spiderwebs are related.
No, I'm you know what? Because last episode I had come out and said Beastmaster. I thought it was going to be Beastmaster. I think, much like Astrologian, that they're going to go and create a whole new job.
Something we haven't seen before.
From Spider-Man?
Yep, from Spider-Man.
What is it going to be?
I mean,
it's going to be fucking Spider-Man. They're just going to put Spider-Man in.
But I mean, that might be where we can pull in the lady from Red, the lady in Red. She's not a dancer. She's not a monk. She's doing something.
She's Spider-Man?
Slinging her sleeves like Spider-Man slings webs. Which is possible. I mean, I could see that being, especially because we're going to Alamigo, and we know, see, now I kind of like this theory, actually, is that we know that the monks and stuff have been destroyed, they've been toppled, and then Garlemald came in, but you can imagine that there would be some underground rebels trying to resurrect or bring back the monk, right? But of course it would be different, because they're underground, they're creating their own type of monk, which in this case would be whatever the lady in red is. And so that way, slings and use different kinds of weapons, and it's like a monk, but it's not a monk. I kind of like that. But it's not a dancer.
Well, if Nika likes it, I can't like it anymore.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I think that's a fun idea, though. And now, if that's the case, if it's not samurai, but we do get like a new type of monk that's been created in Alamigo, I'm on board with that.
We want to hear your speculation. Limit Break Radio on Skype, 810-515-8715, limitbreakradio.com/Discord if you'd like to call in. So we also got a little bit of info on the new 2017 raid that's going to be coming, Return to Ivalice. What do you guys think of this? Like, I mean, I'm not a terribly big FF12 fan, Ivalice doesn't really hold a whole lot of sway for me.
You're also not a tactics fan.
Yeah, it didn't help that you hated tactics.
I definitely hated tactics.
But it's also, what, Vagrant Story?
Vagrant Story is the third one, yeah. And I mean, I own that, but I've actually never played through that from beginning to end.
Vagrant Story is pretty fun, and I didn't like tactics either. So
I mean, bad opinions in here.
Like, it's not that I actively don't like 12. It's that 12 didn't make a big enough impression on me to want to go back to Ivalice. That's my thing with 12, and I fucking hated tactics, but. What do you guys think? First of all, Return to Ivalice. Does this mean that we are leaving the safety and comfort of Hydaelyn altogether, and we're going to how are we getting to Ivalice? This is crazy.
I'm sticking with my theory that Ivalice is the next continent over.
Come on.
We're gonna sail across the sea.
No,
we already know about the different continents.
Absolutely
in the lore
not.
book. Like, don't even suck.
There's no way that they would go and flesh out the rest of Ivalice with Eorzea. That doesn't make sense because there are two huge worlds that have so much lore and history and everything surrounding them that they would almost have to connect in such a beautifully like cosmic way, like such a narratively attractive way that there's no way that Square Enix could pull that off.
We're gonna be hitting a portal to another dimension. Let's be real.
But that's so lame. It's so lame. I don't want to just have a fucking, cavernous maw to open up.
Hey, that looks like a Tamos. Oh, no.
Yeah, and to just be transported into Ivalice and, there's suddenly Bosch. That is going to be the worst version of this whole, this whole concept I can even imagine. But what...
Yeah, that is the nightmare scenario.
It really is. It's the worst.
Fox in the chat was bringing up what Ethic's theory was, that Ivalice is a group of city-states because Dalmasca is already a place that's been, overthrown and conquered. So, and Dalmasca was also part of FF12 and Ivalice. So, maybe it does exist in the realm of...
I hate that idea.
I think
I don't normally break with Ethis on opinions of lore, but I hate that theory.
Well, where do you... Okay, then if Ivalice is not a part of Hydaelyn and it's not another dimension, what do you think it is in your own?
I think we are... No, I'm not saying that it's not. I'm just saying what I think it is. I think we're going to the Ivalice that existed in 12 and that we're probably going to interact with Vaughn and Pinello and Bosch and all of those stupid characters because we're getting the FF12 re-release.
Bosch was a fantastic character.
Whatever.
Is it
Who
one
gives
of the
a
other
shit?
13?
Yeah.
If that's what you think it'll be?
Yeah.
It'll be okay.
That's what I thought they were alluding to that entire time.
Ivalice is one of the worlds, and that there'll be the Warriors of Light from that world.
Right.
So that way it still fits in the lore.
Right.
That's what
I think. There's some kind of existential threat threatening Ivalice. You got to go help save it, and you'll be teaming up
but
with...
why would we care about another world when we're the source anyway? They
We just sacrificed. We just sacrificed.
But we've never gone to any of the other worlds before to try to save them. So what makes Ivalice so appealing to us that we would be like, oh shit, one of the other 13 worlds that's still around. There's only 7 that are left or something. Oh, we're gonna go to that particular one. It seems strange.
Well, because we just now learned about it.
I mean, that's true.
Nailed it.
All right, there we go.
But now our Warrior of Light from the source, which are clearly the most important Warrior of Light because we're from the source, are now going to go and risk our lives dying in another world.
I don't know what's going on with your mic today.
Yeah, I'm worried you blow out your microphone.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. That's really strange. I don't know if it's something on my end.
It happened really suddenly. Like she was fine, and then there was a noise, and now it's been like that ever since.
Yeah, I noticed. That's really weird. Let's see if that. It may be a short in my equipment. Hopefully, it's not. Anyway, so yeah. I don't know what to make of this. I feel like it's pandery. I feel like we went through this once already with Crystal Tower and its callbacks to FF3. It did it in a way, and the Crystal Tower
I liked though.
The Crystal Tower was done in such a way where it actually added to the lore of Eorzea. I don't know how going to Ivalice or going off world for us is going to end up adding a ton of lore, or Ethis had suggested, if Ivalice is actually a sub-region of Hydaelyn, then I think everyone's going to be pouring through all of the old Ivalice games trying to find every little connection that they can, and that I think is going to open up to way, way, way too many plot holes and dangling threads to ever be satisfying. So I think it's really... if they really want to throw Ivalice in to Hydaelyn, I guess that's a way to extend your lore instantly, but it's a really unsatisfying way to do it. There's been no evidence that Ivalice and Eorzea are in any way connected, other than what the explanation we got with the Warriors of Darkness were.
Right.
Now, that is an explanation that I can understand, being taken off-world, but then the stakes are removed. I feel like the stakes are removed. You don't really care. Like if you fail, okay, you die.
Ivalice died.
Yeah, meh.
Why do I care? Not my world.
Yeah,
I do think it is a weird choice that they called it Return to Ivalice because our characters have never been there before, have we?
No.
But as far as we know,
and that to me makes it a little bit more like a direct promotional event. Like that makes it more clearly a promotional event in my mind.
I just hate Ivalice, actually.
Really?
Yeah, because like it started out as like the tactics world, and then they're like, oh, also Final Fantasy XII is part of Ivalice, but
wasn't it? When was Vagrant Story released though? Wasn't that before Tactics or no?
Was it? I don't know. I've never even played Vagrant.
Vagrant Story was all the way back on the PlayStation 1.
Yeah, that was 90s.
So was Tactics.
Yeah. I don't know which one was first, but they were probably around the same time.
Anyway,
I'm gonna Google them.
The point I'm making is that like none of the games like Vagrant Story, 12, Tactics, they don't really feel like they have any connection whatsoever. Besides, we're gonna say they're also in the same place.
Yeah, Vagrant Story came out in 2000.
Really? Wow, that's later than I thought it would be.
When did Tactics come out?
Earlier than that, 1990.
I mean, it was right. It was like right after 7 because
97.
Yeah.
Wow, that was really close.
So 3 years before, and that was in Japan. In America, it was 98.
See, I was right again.
Okay, so Tactics established Ivalice. Then you had.
Did Vagrant Story have have any connection towards Tactics at all?
No, I don't believe that it did.
Then why?
It was just in the same world.
So okay, so why? Like why does Vagrant Story and then 12 have to take place, quote unquote, in Ivalice when nothing is being referenced from Tactics and none of the people are there, none of like the lore or anything is there, and even 12 has new races that wasn't in Tactics. Like why does Ivalice have to be in Tactics and in 12? Because as far as I'm concerned, they're different places.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that there was the same development team or the same people connected to them, so they wanted to create a much larger world.
Okay. According to the chat, the Vagrant Story is actually the same country, I'm assuming, as Tactics, and FF12 is canonly long before Tactics. So any of the races that were new in FF12 probably died out before Tactics and Vagrant Story.
So what's the point?
Right? Why?
Just to
why
say
have
that they're
them?
from the same world?
You can
say that?
Yeah, you can call it Ivalice in both cases, but is it really the same world?
I mean, let's say like Final Fantasy IV was also Ivalice, but that took place like millions of years before 12.
Those are all fair questions. So I'm going to bring this.
A guild leader from 12 was in Tactics Advanced.
I'm going to refocus this back to FF14. What version of Ivalice then do we go to? Are we going to the Tactics version? Are we going to the FF12 version? I
guess it depends on where in the timeline FF14 takes place.
Right.
Are we later in the timeline, which means we'll be in the most recent version of Ivalice?
Well, if we're warping off world, then time and space don't really seem to.
I suppose.
Right. We've seen both Lightning and Shantoto come into our world, they would be for very different time periods. You would think.
Exactly.
I predict we're going to go to the Tactics era because that way we don't have to animate and create models for Viera, Banga, the fat things.
That's
in 12.
Yeah, because because 12 did have a very distinct like Moogle style. The Ivalice does have very distinct features. Yeah. And they may have.
Oh, I do like what Sane Cooper just said, that it's the 12th Legion that we are going after this time anyway, so FF12.
But
Ivalice.
Here's the other thing. How many of those assets can kind of just be up-resed and reused from FF12? I mean, the game was recent enough. I mean, PS2...
And they just did the remaster, too.
Yeah, and they're just doing the remaster. I guarantee you that some of those character models got an update already.
Okay, but now you're opening the Pandora's box of Viera is confirmed for this game. When are we getting Viera race? I want to be a bunny girl.
But hang on. Import like taking assets and making them work in FF14 is way different than doing every bit of character modeling that you're going to have to do to add a race.
But you know what they're going to do? They're going to tease us with NPCs or monsters that are
not
VR,
just that,
and
but
we're not going to get to be them.
Yeah, you're going to for the dev team in order for the dev team to pull that off, they'd have to model every gear type for the Viera. That's not going to happen.
I still think we'll end up seeing NPCs that are VR, and it's going to tease us.
That's what I mean,
fine, tease.
I was like, don't show off the bunny girls if you're not going to put them in.
Yeah, because everybody wants bunny girls.
Shut up and enjoy your cat girl and just shut.
But I mean, do you think that they'll never add another race ever again? I bet they will.
I don't think they will. I don't think we'll ever.
For the entire life of 14, they will never add another race.
I don't think so.
No, with how much work that is, I don't see
think
it.
they obviously not now, but in 5.0, 6.0, 7.0, you don't think there'll be a new race.
That's even more work because that's even more. That's even more assets that you're going to have to model. That's really the biggest thing is that, like the assets that you have to go in and make sure that fit that. One of the reasons that Ora worked so well is that they didn't really have to remodel many of those character assets. They were taken straight up from Makote.
Now, I guess
or Hume female, one of those two.
Right, but not, if you did Bunny Girl, you could probably borrow a lot of the Makote gear.
Yeah, you probably could. You probably could. But still, though, that's going to be a lot of effort.
Do we really need another race that is modeled after cat girls?
No, we don't.
I'd rather get a more beast-like race, but then they would have to really reskin everything.
What a nightmare!
Because every race we have is very human-looking.
They could just remodel everything off their Rogadin.
Yeah. No.
For the Beastman race.
It's not.
Because
we don't need anything modeled off of Rogadin.
Because they're ugly.
Rogadin are beautiful.
The 5 years we went missing after the Bahamut incident, we went to Ivalice. Kappa.
We went to a phallus? All right.
No.
What's going on?
That is a good point. What was our character doing after we helped the calamity, and then we're gone for 5 years, and they're like, "Hey, I'm going to be an adventurer now."
Didn't we just wake up in the future?
Yeah,
I mean, I guess they did like teleport us, but that's
well,
true.
You guys all did. I didn't.
Ivalice, woo.
Well, yeah, like I don't know. Is there like when you get
some dimension between dimensions or something?
When you get transported out of your corporeal body and you become just a ball of light floating around the universe, does that also mean that you have to figure out how to spend your time too? Because I can't figure out how to correctly allocate my time to get shit done now in my corporeal body. If I have to figure out how to waste time as a non-corporeal entity, I would rather be dead. Because then at least I don't have to pass time.
Heroes never die.
You're a hero.
So Yoshi-P wants to take the momentum up another level with the next expansion. FF14, he says, hasn't been completed yet. As a theme park MMO, it still has a lot of new elements to introduce, but also wants to challenge himself to also develop based on customers' needs.
And what I need is Lords of Dominion 2.
Stormblood will be the first Final Fantasy title released for the 30th anniversary, and he wants to live up to that legacy.
Wait a second.
Okay,
Stormblood's not coming out until June.
Yeah.
Okay.
Final Fantasy Anniversary, they're saying we're not going to get anything in the first 2 quarters of next year for that. I could have sworn the first part of FF7 Remake was supposed to be by quarter 2.
No, doesn't sound like it.
Apparently nothing is coming out until after June for the 30th anniversary. That sounds like bullshit.
It could come out in quarter 2. June would still be quarter 2. July would be quarter 2.
When do they
July would be quarter 3.
When do they mark the anniversary? Because there's probably a specific date where they mark it. Where are you marking the anniversary? January 1?
I was marking it as the next year, as this year.
Yeah, no, you can't go from January 1. You got to go as of what? Probably the release date of Final Fantasy 1 in Japan. That's what I would guess.
Looking it up.
All right.
What will it be? It was 12/18/87.
12/18?
Jeez.
Yeah, December 18th.
All right,
so that's literally
What?
December. Okay.
That's not.
Yeah,
wait a minute. That's way early then.
That doesn't quite work.
Yeah, you're a stupid idiot.
Way
I'm just saying. I was just asking.
That was a good guess.
It's a valid question.
It was really bad. And you should feel bad.
Final Fantasy 2 is when they really established Final Fantasy was becoming a franchise, and that also came out in December. Never mind. I don't know.
You know what?
And that's a year later.
Hang on. When did they celebrate the 20th anniversary? Because they did. I know that they had some kind of celebration event for the 20th anniversary.
I have no idea. Let's see. FF 20th anniversary. Help us out, chat. May?
It says launched in May 2007.
Oh.
May?
All right.
Final Fantasy 20th anniversary was a games project by Square Enix launched in May 2007. They're all different kinds of Final Fantasy games, from remakes to ambitious new projects.
Well, I guess May would work then, because then the Stormblood would be in June, the very next month. Yeah, okay.
If the countdown starts in May,
then it would work. Yeah,
that makes a whole lot more sense.
But why don't we get games in May?
I don't know. They don't release a game every month.
I don't know what their release schedule is. I don't know that we're not getting fucking games in May.
That there was a leak. When did they say they were supposed to confirm that? There was like that whole leak of different things they were remaking and that whole thing that they were releasing for the 30th anniversary.
Oh, the thing that was totally unconfirmed bullshit that got passed around social media for 2 days? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's the thing, is that it was totally unconfirmed. No one could confirm any of that shit.
Well, here we go. Yoshi has confirmed that Stormblood is the first of the 30th anniversary
There
titles.
you go. There you go.
Confirmation.
There's, I guess, been a lot of questions about guest developers.
Well, because they have the two guest developers helping out with
yeah, the Vagrant Story and
Ivalice.
FF12 developers are helping with
right. Oh, I guess that makes sense. So lots of people are playing FF14 and want to get in on developing the game. I guess I mean,
that's cool.
Is it kind of like a popular project over at like Square Enix headquarters? Is that
everyone's sitting around just like, man, I wish I got to work on FF14.
Yeah, like it sort of feels like it's.
I want to play the only popular Final Fantasy game recently.
Right? I don't want my name on that dumpster fire 15. So it won't let scheduling conflicts with guest developers delay games or the game or patches. That's good to know.
That's good news. Yeah.
Good job.
Amenya?
Amamiya.
Okay.
Amamiya.
The first time, that's the first time being involved with Final Fantasy.
So he was the Vagrant Story guy, right?
Vagrant Story and Shin Megami Tensei recently.
Okay, all right. So yeah, it's not completely irrelevant, Juxta, to be bringing up Vagrant Story or any of the other Ivalice properties if they're going to be bringing developers that were attached to those in.
I don't want to go to that stupid world. Unless it's Final Fantasy Tactics.
That's the problem. He doesn't want to go to Ivalice.
Yeah,
unless it's Tactics, and then that's fine.
Matsuno is
calculator confirmed.
Matsuno is very excited to bring his Ivalice saga back to Final Fantasy once more.
CT5 Holy.
See, I sort of feel like they think of Ivalice in a different way from most Final Fantasy games, and it would like Final Fantasy XII just happened to be a game that was set in Ivalice. It's not necessarily an intrinsically Final Fantasy thing. I mean, yeah, it's in Tactics, but I mean, like you also the Vagrant Story has literally no attachment to Final Fantasy whatsoever, other than Ivalice. So I feel like it's a different thing, because look at the way that they refer to it. That Matsuno is very excited to bring his Ivalice saga back to Final Fantasy.
Yeah, they visit.
Meaning that he thinks about it separate from Final Fantasy.
I don't like Matsuno at all.
We will see some interesting things mixed in, both new and old. The collaboration came about because Yoshida always references the works of Matsuno and Amamiya in interviews. That's true. I mean, Ivalice is probably one of his most referenced Final Fantasy worlds. That he's pulled no shortage of inspiration from those places in the past. Matsuno mentioned that he'd like to do something with FF14, and Yoshida pleaded with him to be involved. Yoshida said that he could write a major story component for the game and wanted to give back something special to the players. Talks began in spring of 2016. Alliance Raid is planned for patch 4.1. Wants to avoid the delay they had between expansion and patch X.1. That's probably smart.
Thank you.
It's probably smart. Just saying.
How long was that? Was that period between 3.0 and 3.1?
Launched in June, and
I think
then
it was
beginning of September, wasn't it?
It was like between 3 and 5 weeks delayed. I mean, it was a pretty significant delay. The raid is already pretty well defined, and we'll be ready to talk about it after the launch of 4.0. Wow, we're not going to hear anything about this until after 4.0 launches? Jeez.
Interesting.
It takes a long time to render those bunnies.
To be fair, we didn't really know that much about Alexander either.
We didn't know anything, did we?
And about Void Ark, we just saw it flying around. We're like, ooh, what if that's the raid?
That's true. That is true.
Fair enough.
Making early plans so that they don't need so long to catch their breath after the release. That's
strategy.
No, look, I'm just going to say that, like, having a proper workflow in an organization to your work, like, that's really helpful. Like, even we know that on, just doing a podcast every week, that it's a pretty important element to build in to your product how you're able to, blow off steam or be able to reach the expectations of the audience. And so, yeah, you've got to build that into your product.
And it's nice of them to recognize, last time, guys, we dropped the ball on that one. We're not going to let that happen.
Exactly. The 4.x series should progress at an even pace and expects to see more shortly after the launch of 4.0.
Cool.
So
good.
We could talk about the Garo collaboration. This is pretty cool because there was a lot of speculation about how exactly the event was going to unfold. A lot of people were questioning whether or not it would be like the
Yokai Watch.
Yeah, the Yokai Watch event. And
that was great.
It is distinguishing itself from that event in a couple of important ways. You can start earning PvP achievements now, and your results will be saved. Yes, so that does mean that you can earn Garo rewards starting now. Nothing like Yokai Watch. It will be based on the battle record. You can obtain it as soon as you've earned it. So if you wanted to do
so many wins or something,
right? Like if you wanted to do some pre-grinding for it, you can do that.
But can this be in Feast or in Frontlines, or how does that work?
They didn't specify. I don't think. I don't remember that from last week.
I like Frontlines more, but I don't want to spam my Frontlines. And it's like, oh, psych, it's all on Feast. Fuck you.
Yeah, that would suck.
So yeah, all the values are the same. Should be able to get sets for multiple jobs. The event will last longer than the Yokai Watch one, which that was a long event.
It was like 3 months. 2 or 3 months. Yeah.
No emotes will be added this time, though it was considered. Amount will be achievement related, and will not be added to the existing achievements. That mount is so badass. Like that is, even if you don't like the armor, which I'm kind of like on the armor, being that they're attached to like specific characters. I'm all about that horse, though. That horse is fucking sick.
Yeah, it's really cool looking.
And lastly, in this Game Watch interview, we've got we've got some questions about the underwater actions that are going to be coming. Like flying, it's not meant to be a necessity. Besides learning how to dive, you can complete the entire MSQ without going underwater. It's meant to add a range of exploration and gameplay to exploring content after the fact. There was a question in there. Does that mean that instance dungeons or towns might exist underwater? Yoshida says, well, I won't say they aren't. So probably. Yeah.
Okay, so how are you going to complete the MSQ if you don't have to go into...
It sounds like it's a side quest or storyline.
Optional, quote-unquote optional dungeon. I mean, if you want your EX roulettes, you're going to have to unlock it. But
it just says MSQ can be completed with that. Yeah. Not that everything in the game, obviously.
Right. Will you be able to learn to swim in the Limsa Lominsa housing area? No comment, says Yoshida. Okay. And we will be announcing a new housing area at the EU Fan Fest. I guarantee you that's going to be
Ishgard, yeah.
So
who wants to live in the cold? Ugh.
No one.
Right?
Well, isn't the snow stopping now that the war is over? I thought it's supposed to be less snowy now.
What?
Really?
I thought that the never-ending snow had a lot to do with the Dragonsong War and destroying there was like a whole thing where they talk about that. That ever since the Dragonsong War restarted, there's been nonstop snow.
And I didn't know that.
I thought that was just since the Calamity.
Was it since the Calamity?
I think it was since the Calamity. I think the Calamity was the big factor there.
I'm looking forward to Beachfront Ishgard. That'd be sweet.
I mean, because you're right. Before the Calamity, it was nice and not snowy, right?
Yeah, because Korthus was totally green in 1.0.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe it was the Calamity.
It
then,
was
too.
Nika, it was the Calamity.
So it's not going away. That
but
sucks.
what if Nidhogg came there after the Calamity?
That's not how it worked.
I mean,
no,
you
because
don't know.
Nidhogg was already part of the Dragonsong War long before the Calamity.
But after the
Calamity was only
Calamity
5 years ago.
hits, Nidhogg was able to harness the power of Shiva and blow ice everywhere.
Oh.
All right, we're going to go back to our phone lines.
I can hear Ethis crying.
I know.
Can you hear that? It's sad.
We're going to go back.
Can we troll Ethis on lore someday?
We're going to go back to our phone lines and talk to Dulce Arma, who's been hanging on for a minute from Belmung. What's up, Dulce?
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good, man. Thanks for calling Limit Break Radio. What's going on?
The Red Mage story you guys were talking about earlier, they did say that yes, he is ranged, and it's supposed to be a pure DPS like kind of class, not a support.
Yeah, but
Machinist is pure DPS and also has some support.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And so does Bard.
There's no. I mean, there are jobs. Every job, no matter what they do, has buffs and debuffs.
Right. I've got Battle Litany, even though I'm pure DPS.
Yeah, exactly. So I think to have Red Mage sort of increase on that, because I don't think you can strip that element out of the job. I think you can have DPS come from Red Mage, but you can't do it while stripping the buff elements out of there, because that was seriously intrinsic to the feel and the utility of Red Mage. You know, like that's part of the thing is when you think about Red Mage, you have to think about it in party composition as well. And so you have to think about the expectations of the audience. So I think that it would be totally fair to assume that Red Mage probably does have some buffing capabilities. I don't think it's going to be a straight up hybrid class or fit in the middle of DPS and support, but it's going to be much more like a Bard or a Machinist that has support abilities but also puts up numbers.
I agree with that. I don't think it's not going to have any buffs. I'm thinking along the lines of like a melee replacement or a Black Mage Summoner replacement instead of a Bard Machinist replacement, though.
I think, you know what, Dulce actually kind of brings up a good point. Like where, if you're bringing a Red Mage, you're having to bring a Red Mage instead of another party member. What are you replacing with Red Mage? What do you think, Nika?
Your healer's girlfriend is a Red Mage, and she has to get in the group, otherwise he's leaving.
So
kick the monk.
Who
are we booting for?
Yeah, Nika, who do you think would kind of get the axe in that setup? I mean, a full party of 8.
It would either be the current magic DPS or the second melee.
So like the non-top DPS melee or the non-top DPS magic.
Well, usually most people bring 2 melee and 1 magic and 1 ranged.
Okay.
So it's either, I don't think you can ever replace probably a Bard or Machinist. I just don't think that's going to happen.
Why?
So I feel like you're either going to relate.
But why though?
Because I don't think Red Mage's buffs are going to be the same.
Well, okay, so maybe not.
And also, depending on what the boss is and all that kind of stuff, replacing like
maybe not the same.
At least this way, you have multiple different types of damage. You have the melee DPS, you have the ranged physical, and you have the ranged magic.
Right.
I think if you eliminate the ranged physical, then you have nobody doing ranged physical, and I just feel like that's a weird balance. And if you replace the ranged magical, it's the same type of damage. And if you replace the second melee, you still have a melee.
Well, so first of all, how often do we experience damage typing that where a certain type of damage is nullified? It's only really in large.
Not often, but
it's not often at all.
But that's still the balance most people follow.
Sure.
Like, because technically, I mean, why do you really need a caster DPS? You could take another ranged physical, but nobody does.
So, but I mean, you said that you don't see it taking the place of Bard or Machinist. Why is that? I mean, because and you said now you don't see Red Mage getting the same buffs. But what if if they end up with buffs that outweigh or are in certain situations better than what Bard or Machinist is putting out there? Why not take a Red Mage instead of a Bard or Machinist? Because there your ranged is covered.
It's hard to say. I can't see Red Mage having a TP regen.
You can't.
No.
Is that only because you're selfishly setting that aside for samurai in your head?
No. Actually, no.
Okay.
I didn't even think of that. I'm just thinking based on Red Mage from previous incarnations. I could see Red Mage having a regen. I could see Red Mage having a refresh. I cannot see it have a regain.
See, I think if they have those other two abilities, that regain fits in with that very, very well.
Maybe.
Didn't Red Mage in 11 eventually get regain?
Yeah, I think it is. I think that's your.
Was that
I think
Scholar?
they did.
I think that was Scholar.
Nika, I think
Corsair had that with its cards. Right?
I think that this is Nika's subtle
She's just
bias
salty
showing.
that
I
Red
actually
Mage.
didn't even think of that till you brought it up.
No,
But-
it's unconscious. That's why you're not even aware
But
of
I
it.
mean, maybe Red Mage will be the class that could replace anything.
No, see, that's the thing. Red Mage will get a support ability that you can either restore MP, HP, or TP on a cooldown, and you get your choice of it.
Yeah, you'd have
Your
to.
asterisk P.
So OP, though.
It's we get one of the choice.
Or you
They're
have
all
to-
on the same cooldown.
You have to change out crystal mediums to be able to switch
up.
between them.
That's for stupid.
Dulce, do you have any predictions here for Red Mage?
I do not think they're going to get a TP mana regen.
No?
Actually.
Okay.
No, because mostly Yoshida said that he wanted it to fit within the 14 universe, right? And
Right.
that means taking a lot of the dual black and white magic spells out and making a lot of red magic spells.
Okay.
If I'm thinking of that correctly.
Okay, that's
So
fair.
I'm thinking, since he said that it's a pure DPS, that they're probably going to get more lower grade supportive skills with higher DPS output. More like between a ninja and a monk, in a way.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see that. I mean, all of these are sort of valid interpretations of the way that Red Mage could end up fitting. What do you guys think? Haste or no? Haste, yes or no? Does Red Mage get haste?
I think if it gets haste, it's going to be a skill speed, spell speed buff, much like Celine.
Sure. I mean, that makes sense. But I mean, just having Red Mage with that spell haste, there's gonna be a lot of FF11 players who go flashback time. I'm having here comes the PTSD.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. No, I don't see them getting
I mean,
haste.
only in 11 has Red Mage ever really had haste, you know?
But it is a ability and it is a buff that no one else gives.
That's true.
Straight up, no other job gives you that sort of effect.
Well,
so I sort of feel
Scholar does.
I mean, a little bit.
How much is their haste? Is it 5%?
Nika, do you know?
I don't know.
Don't you main Scholar as your healer?
It's the healer that I play, but it's like my third or fourth job in terms of things that I play. So, which spell is it? It's Celine's, right? I don't even know.
You're terrible.
I just know that Celine.
After-
It doesn't actually say in the description, does it?
It says if you hover over the tooltip, not your buff, but the actual button.
Let me change to Scholar. And
Oh my god!
I feel
Jeez,
like
it's not even worth
You're
it
such a
anymore.
After the nightmare
player.
that the idea of haste turned into an 11, they've seemed very
oh my
hesitant to
God.
touch
Come on,
it again.
I know that they do, and they're very hesitant to put it on gear, and that I understand. But I mean, it seems like a pretty essential buff.
I don't know. We've never seen double attack in the game.
True.
Astrologian kind of has haste.
They do, yeah.
They kind of do.
It's like cut in half. Well, no, not really.
I think of a full on potent haste spell.
3%.
Full on
3%. Okay,
full on potent haste spell from Red Mage. I think would be sweet.
15-20%. Like that's your DPS cooldown.
Yeah, sure. That would be cool.
I wonder if you should be able to cast it on other players though.
So just self-cast only?
Maybe. Because if you can give it to other players, then people are going to be demanding that they get your haste.
That's what I'm saying. And if it's, I mean,
if they went, wouldn't it?
Well,
Wouldn't
if
they
they
do it
went,
like-
if they went full AOE with it, then you suddenly,
can't be AOE.
then you, but you see what I'm saying though. The problem is that puts Red Mage as like unnecessary for every fucking party.
No, Celine's is okay. Well, not necessarily because Celine's is a 3%, and it's not all the time. You can't use it. It's a really long cooldown, and still, depending on the situation, a lot of scholars run EOS and don't even use Celine, so it's still something that you're not really using.
That's exactly how they would have to do it. Is that they would have to they would have to buffer the recast with a lot of time in
or
there.
They would have to have it share with another thing that's also really essential. Because the
Right.
fact that like a lot of scholars will use EOS depending on the situation, so having haste is not even an option. I mean,
Yeah.
it would be maybe some kind of option where Red Mage has to choose between doing haste or refresh, or having some other kind of
that could make sense.
thing
Yeah,
that
no,
really
that makes.
matters,
I think
so
that makes.
way you don't have haste all the time, but when you get it, it's a nice buff.
No, I think that actually makes a lot of sense.
And think about it like Dragoons have Battle Litany, which is like something ridiculous, like 15%
It's
crit.
super powerful, yeah.
Yeah, like
and it's AoE.
People bring Dragoons because it's so strong. Otherwise,
That's true.
they just leave them at the dumpster.
That's true. I mean, maybe like a 15% single caster, like a 10% AoE.
15, 20%. We actually not be out of the realm for AoE, in my opinion.
You think?
Given Dragoon.
You know, you make a compelling argument there.
Ability, like like its hallowed ground type ability, where like it can give a 15% haste for 30 seconds to the entire party, but I can't see that being a constant.
Right?
No,
Constant.
Come on.
No one's
This is
talking.
14.
Yeah, no one was talking about
Jesus.
constant. We
But
all.
I mean, are you talking about just a long cooldown or making it be like it's a hallowed ground type of move?
No. I think what Ascalia said with Battle Litany makes the most sense, where it would be kind of akin to Battle Litany.
Battle Hasteny.
I mean, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, that's the kind of buff I could see them having, just like call it haste,
Yeah,
and yeah, that's kind of their thing.
What's the recast on Battle Litany?
Oh Jesus,
like 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes,
like 90 seconds. Yeah, nice long.
Okay, so yeah, you make it long enough so that it's not a permanent a permanent buff. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. I think Red Mages will see some kind of haste ability.
No, Battle Litany is a 3-minute cooldown, and it's only 15%. Only lasts for 20 seconds.
Yep, that's correct.
That kind of balancing makes sense to me.
Yeah,
that makes
something strong, but you don't get it. It's your DPS cooldown.
Yeah, it's a burst,
a burn phase.
It's a burn.
Oh, so you save it for the DPS check.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that makes perfect sense to me.
Okay, I get
because and this is what I was saying earlier, is because there's no job that currently fills that role. We do have 2 other jobs that can put some kind of skill speed, spell speed down, haste in some kind of capacity out there, but it's a very stunted version of that. And I think that that's actually kind of smart on Square Enix's end, given the amount of emphasis that was put on haste in the FF11 community, to have that carry over to FF14 as a statistic would have muddied the waters for us for a while. So not having that as something that we can rely on, to now putting that as a part of our toolkit this late in the game, I think it's going to be a nice addition if they end up going that route. I don't think that it's going to end up being the it's going to have the reputation that it necessarily did in 11. So yeah, I think that that's going to just about do it here for today. Dulce, thank you very much for the call. We appreciate it. If you want to get, we may take one more call in here. If you want to get your call in, Limit Break Radio on Skype, 810-515-8715, limitbreakradio.com/Discord. Overall, guys, I mean, because we did not check in with you last week. We were, Ascalia, Kahlo, and I, we were here talking about Japanese Fan Fest. But now, on the other side of these announcements, how hyped have you gotten for Stormblood?
Pretty hype.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is it the job?
It's the job.
It's really the job.
That's the only thing. Like, what is that? Omega doesn't hold a candle to me, because I feel like that's just retreading oh my god, what the hell is that? Allegan technology. Like, we've already done like an Allegan raid, and I feel like going back to probably Allegan is kind of like wasted opportunity, I guess.
Where would you rather have it go then?
Somewhere different, some like new thing, I guess. I don't know. Like
somewhere in Ivalice rather than Old to Allegan.
Somewhere in Ivalice.
I don't care. Just it doesn't have to be Allegan again. Does it really have to be Allegan again? We've already had Allegan, and now we're having steampunk, and now we're going back to Allegan. Like, does it have to be technology based again? Does it? Tell me, Daddy.
I would have stop. I would have much preferred, I'll be honest with you, I would have much preferred a raid much more akin to the idea of Void Ark, where there is and granted, this only happened for the second really leg of this, but having an actual place on the map that it represents, and having the geography open up that way. I think that is a really cool aspect to a raid or a dungeon that FF14 usually does very, very well, but recently has made some very odd decisions in that regard, like the Zephytol, now going over to Ivalice. I want to see more of Eorzea's map. I'm totally disinterested in what is going on in Ivalice right now. I'm much more interested to fill in some of these smaller areas of the map that we don't have access to yet.
Yeah. And you know what? If it had to be Allegan or technology-based, like, can we just go to the Garlean space station on the moon?
Oh, God.
There it is.
I hate you. Hate you so much. All right, I think that's going to do it here for Limit Break Radio
what
for this
about
week.
Nika's wrap up?
Oh yeah, that's right.
We forgot about her.
What?
Where's your excitement at?
Yeah.
I mean, okay. I am definitely really, really excited. I'm definitely excited this is a Monk expansion because Monk has been my main DPS and I love Monk. It's fantastic. And I'm really excited about Alamigo because it has some fantastic lore. So I'm really looking forward to the main story quest, I think, more than anything. But we will see, depending on if the new job is either Samurai or a new type of Monk. If the new job is a new type of Monk that has been developed in the underground Alamigan resistance, I think that would be really badass and I'm totally down for that. But if neither of those things exist, I'm going to be pretty salty.
So if you get Red Mage and then some unknown second job and that's it, you're going to be pretty salty?
Well, no.
No, she said that's fine.
If the second job is Samurai or a new type of Monk that was developed in Alamigo as part of the lore.
I said anything else.
I'm okay with it. If the second job ends up being Dancer or Blue Mage, I'll be pretty salty. Yeah.
No, Dancer is the second kind of Monk, Nika.
Yeah.
It depends. If that ties into the lore in that same type of way, then sure. But if that's
Blue
the case,
Mage is the other
I can't see
type
them
of Monk.
calling it Dancer. Because if you look at the way that the Monk and the Fist of Ralgr and all the different factions of Monk, the ones that were like underground aren't going to be like, all right, guys, let's form a troop of dancers. Like, I can't see that being
I like your Mayakov
their
impression.
job. I feel like they would call it something totally different.
I don't know. I think Nika's just upset that
She's so salty.
he didn't walk out on stage in a Last Samurai t-shirt or something.
She's so salty.
Well, wasn't there rumors he was walking around the American Fan Fest the day before in his last
That's what I heard.
Rumors. Pictures? Where are they?
I never saw a picture of it. Yeah.
I never did either.
Yeah, I never saw
Somebody
a picture
that
of
has one, please link.
it. Anyway, all right, that is, I think, going to be it for Limit Break Radio today. Thank you guys for joining us. Before we let you go, something that I just kind of wanted to throw out there really quick. I didn't see him this week, but we did see him last week. It's kind of funny. Sharky Larky Barky has kind of been hanging out in our chat, and I gotta say, I was kind of looking back. His attempts to troll us are really adorable,
cute,
adorable, or depressing.
No, if he continues,
there's a fine line that separates adorable and
if he continues to try without getting any kind of traction, it's like bordering on sad. It's definitely like right there on the cusp. Like he's doing, you know how like
first video was funny.
You know, it was. But you know how like in Sonic the Hedgehog, if you inch Sonic close enough to the edge of a platform, he'll start going whoa, like that.
Yeah.
He's right there. That's Sharky. You're right there on the edge of being sad.
You're on the edge of glory.
He was here on Christmas trying to troll us in the chat room. I'm actually shocked that he's not here today. So, it's kind of adorable. It's cute in like a little dog that's nipping at your heels sort of way. But at the same time, like it's getting a little sad too. Getting a little sad.
Poor guy.
Aw.
Poor little Sharky.
I just wanted to I wanted to throw him a bone. I wanted to give him a little bit of attention so that maybe he would feel a little bit more validated from the Limit Break Radio crew.
We see you, man. We know you're there.
You're trying, and you're trying so hard. And that's what makes it funny.
But try harder. Give us your best shot.
Hit me with your best shot.
Fire away.
Oh,
wow. That was really loud, Callie. What the hell are you doing with your life?
Shut up.
Anyway, all right. That's going to do it here for Limit Break Radio. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. It's been awesome having you. Twitch.tv/Limit Break Radio. If you're listening on the podcast and you'd like to join us live, that's where the live shows go down each and every single Sunday. Yes, including Christmas Day, including New Year's Day. We are here for
Not including Mother's Day.
Not yeah, Mother's Day. That's kind of the odd one out. Anyway, but we're here every single weekend for you guys, starting at 1 p.m. to break down all of the latest FF14 information. We invite you guys to join us live here at twitch.tv/Limit Break Radio every Sunday at 1. Call the show. If you're typing up right now, if there was something that was said during the show that has triggered you, and you're on page number 3 of your YouTube comment, save it. Just stop typing right now and put some time aside on a Sunday and give us a call and read it to us, because I guarantee you that we'll read the YouTube comment eventually, but I'm going to tell you right now that submitting a YouTube comment is quantifiably the least that you can do to troll us, to try to make a point, to try to, get our attention on the show. Quantifiably, that is the least that you could possibly do. If you want to actually get our attention, you can call the show, you can email us, you can give us a trolley donation, come in our chat room and give a shit on Sundays. We provide a lot of ways that you can reach out to Limit Break Radio and you can interact with us. So why don't you take up one of those and pack in your fucking YouTube comments and instead meet us on Sundays, and we'll all have a nice, good discussion.
Outside the flagpole.
That's right.
Behind the bleachers.
3:15 by the flagpole.
You're going to get such a wedgie. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining us here at twitch.tv/Limit Break Radio. LimitBreakRadio.com is the website. You're going to want to check that out if you want a full archive of shows going all the way back to 2006 when we started the show for Final Fantasy XI. Every single show we've ever done is up there, limitbreakradio.com. Check it out. That's going to be it. No thanks to our support staff who didn't bother to show up today, so fuck you, Kooky, fuck you, Skuro, and double...
Whoa, Skirrow's in the chat. Still fuck him,
you,
though.
Skuro, anyway, yeah. So what?
And fuck you, Pops. Yeah. But to my co-hosts and for those that showed up today, Juxtaposition, Ascali Rayumasa, Nika Kayanian, I'm Aniro. Keep listening. Limit Break Radio is a production of LimitBreakRadio.com and Bender Media Productions. This episode was produced by Kalo Landis. Final Fantasy XIV and Eorzea are trademarks of Square Enix. Funding for Limit Break Radio is provided by Miri Kennett, Satori Komeji, Dark Flux, Null Packet, Shira Heartslot, and fellow Limit Break Radio listeners. To support Limit Break Radio, visit patreon.com/Limit Break Radio. Opening music in this episode from Daniel Lambie. Listen to Man with the Machine Gun and other great tracks at facebook.com/Daniel Lambie Metal Gamer. Closing music in this episode provided by Husky by the Geek. Listen to this and other great Final Fantasy XIV and video game rock covers and original music at facebook.com/Husky by the Geek. In-game graphics for Limit Break Radio's Twitch stream are provided by Diamond Multimedia. Check out their line of AMD graphics cards and other hardware at diamondmm.com. Limit Break Radio and its hosts are solely responsible for its content.